Back on Tiger pregame and joined now by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Todd Rice, as we get set for the big road trip out west to Goodland. Coach, let's talk about win number one for you guys last Friday night at home. First league game of the year. Got off to a shaky start, and I know the week prior we talked about coming off the Phillipsburg game, how hard it is to turn the tide when things kind of go against you. I thought you guys did a tremendous job of not letting that happen 2 weeks in a row, and they really turned it back around. Toward the end of the first half and in the third quarter, they were dominant.
Yeah, I was really pleased with that, too. And, we talked about Concordia being an experienced team and large senior class. A lot of those guys have been through those battles. And we just kind of had to hang in there at times in that first half, had some breaks go against us. Sometimes you got to go out and make your own breaks too. And we kind of settled in, like you said, in that third quarter. Just showing how explosive and how physical and aggressive we can be on both sides of the ball.
And that was something I know you wanted them to express to the other team, physicality and aggressiveness. And I thought there was a real early tone set in the third quarter. I mentioned this during the broadcast. Jake Ferguson made a special teams tackle that he really drove the guy backward. And then another sophomore, Logan McDonald, made a stop in the middle. And then everybody, I'm not saying they were the guys that led the charge, but it just seemed like the defense caught momentum, and it led to offensive momentum and just a tremendous third period.
It was. It just really swung, and like you stated, when Jake came out and made that play, and I think we pinned him around the 10-yard line. Then it was just, you could just feel it and you could see it, and our guys had a little different jump in their step, and then I just carried the both sides of the ball, and guys just fed on it.
Since we're talking defense a little bit, I'll stay there for a moment. I thought Gavin Siebold had a tremendous game, really on both sides, but I kept calling his name on the defensive side, and he was a ball hawk on Friday night.
He was. He's got great instincts, and we talk with our guys all the time about how good Gavin is at, playing with his hands, playing off blocks. It's one thing to get blocked as a defender, but you can't stay blocked. Gavin does a really nice job of keeping the offensive players out of his body. Real good feel and read instincts on the inside.
You guys forced a couple of turnovers, interceptions. Dawson Humphrey, after the tip, was able to track that thing down. That's a pretty heady play for a sophomore to come up with that football.
Oh, it was. And, back in his regular drop zone, and then to track that down, and, just his athleticism taking over in that instant. I wasn't sure which way he was going to run with the ball, but just a great play getting back to take that over.
And then Wyatt Alexander got the pick on a much different type of play, a bullet that he somehow just got in the way of and held on to somehow. That turned out to be a really big play because it took several minutes of the clock off in a game that got really tight late.
It did, and that's, Wyatt just kind of getting pretty instinctive, and, they'd hit us on some weak side slants a couple times, and then Wyatt kind of being a little bit more wily with it, and, kind of dropped off and got underneath that route at that time, and just a real heady play for him.
On the offensive side, Peyton Lane goes up top, and Anthony Atkinson Inningking. We know what this guy is capable of doing. He's been doing it his whole career, but he left some people on Friday night from Peyton Lane and from Cooper Glavin. And how about back-to-back 9-second touchdown drives?
Yeah, we talk about if people, are going to load the box and do certain things to stop our running game, what that can bring to us, and Phil Anthony especially, and then, other receivers definitely are guys that can make those plays. And, credit two different guys, Peyton and Cooper, coming in making just fantastic reads and throws off of that.
And how about Caleb Mendham's night, going over 100 yards, of course, the big 70-plus yard touchdown run that he split two defenders and then just left people. His first touchdown, I thought we mentioned Gavin Siebold again. He has had he's laid some really good blocks for Mendham already this season. But Caleb's capable of doing that night in and night out.
He is, and I've had a lot of people, tell me, "Wow, I didn't realize he is that fast." and Caleb's just one of those guys. He has football speed, and he is just as fast on the field as he is on the track. And when he got down that sideline, it just looked like he just had a completely different gear too.
And then the finish, Coach, it was an odd finish, to say the least. Concordia really fought and battled to get back in it, and then all of a sudden an onside kick that we don't cover, an unsportsmanlike that puts them in position. What was the feeling from the guys after you talked to them after the game at that point? Their minds had to be swirling a little bit.
They did, and we got caught a little bit out of some rotation. Wyatt sustained an injury last Thursday night, and that kind of changed our defensive rotation. We got caught in a couple things, and with the pace of the game and no timeouts, those can be tough adjustments to make. But our guys hung in there. We got a lot of the confidence in our defensive line, and for those guys, Garrett Craig came up with a sack, Holden Heigl, and those guys just. I don't know. I didn't think our kids batted an eye. We had a couple, I think 2 or 3 unfortunate pass interferences, which kind of added to the whole thing too. But our guys didn't bat an eye. They kept fighting, and I think kept some pretty good energy to it.
And got it done, and that's the main thing. A 28-26 victory, a league win, and now you go on the road to Goodland. It's a team we know well because of the district play for the past few years, and now a regular season, early season game against the Cowboys, and obviously everything for them kind of starts with Levi Archer.
Yeah, it does, and he's just taken himself to another level this year. They've always kind of been a run and shoot, pass first team, and with their size that they have up front, they've done a lot more to some power schemes. They will still chuck it, and they'll throw that ball down the field. But it starts with their power game and behind a really big offensive line. And Archer is running really physical this year.
Well, it was a fun win last week, obviously, any win is, but when you get a league victory and at home and now you go on this long road trip, it's a good way to hopefully jumpstart this season. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time and look forward to kickoff tonight from Goodland.
All right, thanks a lot.
Back with more on pregame in just a moment.
Did you capture a protein premium on your wheat this season? If not, it may be time to reconsider what you're planting. Oldie Seed is introducing several new varieties that will provide excellent yield and protein potential, and all varieties meet the Oldie Gold standard. Wheat technology is evolving, and planting one of the Oldie Seed top-yielding varieties or blends this season is the first step in achieving higher yields and increased income. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Here's a tech tip from Blue Valley Telecommunications. Do you know what bandwidth is, or megabytes? Bandwidth is the amount of information your internet connection can move. It's described in megabytes or megs. How much bandwidth you need depends upon how many devices you have and what you're going to use your internet for. Your bandwidth speed is split when it enters into your house. If you have only a 5 meg connection with 5 users, each user could end up getting only 1 meg, which can cause things to load really slowly. If you have questions about your speed, give us a call, 877-876-1228.
Steve, I don't know what to do. I just realized I lost my debit card. Download the USB mobile app and use your debit card on and off feature to shut your card off now. Okay, I can do that. What will I do in the meantime? I need my card. Just swing by the main bank. We can print you a new one in minutes. Great, thanks. Union State Bank is the best. Use the mobile app or internet banking to check your account for unauthorized activity. We also offer email alerts whenever your card is used. Be sure to check your statements when you receive it. This is Brandy Lippert and Alicia Lenhart with Union State Bank, member FDIC.
Besides providing quality healthcare services, our hospital has a profound economic impact on our community. At a time when some communities are cutting back, ours is expanding. Access to healthcare is vital to those in need of a walk-in clinic, emergency room, or find difficulty in traveling. I'm Bryant Johnson, Clay Center Facility CEO of the Citizens National Bank. As a member of the Campaign Council, we are committed to raising funds necessary to equip our new facility. Please join me and our bank by donating to this worthy cause.
And a good evening from Goodland. Rocky Downing along with Chet Carlson, our studio engineers, Bernie Fancilla, Tiger statistician, Zach Elzinga. Yes, the whole crew makes the road trip when Tiger football is set to go on a Football Friday. We welcome you to Goodland, Kansas. And, Chet, we've stretched it back out and got the legs loose, and now we can settle in for a football game, right?
Yeah, it's a long I-70 drive out here. But, we've been making this drive for the last several years for one town or another nearby. So It's a beautiful night. Beautiful night in Goodland. We're right down on the field tonight.
Well, amongst Tiger family, in fact, as we did the last time, although the last time we were here it was raining and miserable outside when we played in that district football game. Tonight really couldn't ask for better conditions, and it's been that way really every football Friday we've dealt with. And now you get two 1-1 teams trying to bounce above the 500 mark tonight. Coming off wins last week, both teams lost in the opening game of the season. For Goodland, it was a 37-34 loss to Norton, and then they went to Ray, Colorado last week and won big. The Tigers, of course, lost to Phillipsburg, and then at home last week holding on down the stretch against the Concordia Panthers. That goes a different direction, which it certainly could have. This is a whole different week of football for the Tigers.
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about last week's games where the time of possession we were on the short end of that 3-1. So many other things in the game. We were on the short end 3-1, but we were on the top end of the score, 28-26.
And a big league win, and the Tigers come on the road here tonight against the Goodland Cowboys. We're still about 3 minutes away from opening kickoff, although the captains have met, and the Tiger defense will be the first on the field here in Goodland on this Football Friday. Stay with us for Tiger football pregame continues after this.
In this risky market, does your farm have the protection it needs? Farmers Union Insurance is committed to providing our farm families with complete insurance solutions for every operation, large or small. We have products to cover everything from crops to combines, homes to barns, autos to auto steer and your tractors. Our products will help manage your risk and keep you protected from the unknown. Give me, Jim Gearhan, a call at 632-3264 or stop by our office at 426 Lincoln Avenue in downtown Clay Center. We are proud to support the Tiger Athletics.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia reminds you that brutal winter days will soon be here. You're almost out of time to have your roof replaced before the cold weather season arrives. Roof work must be completed with daytime temperatures of at least 45 degrees in order to avoid long-term problems with adhesiveness. Learn more at GeislerRoofing.com.
This is Dallas Hasselmack, and Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement has you covered with more than 38 years experience.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement. We've got you covered.
Central Valley Ag is a big operation in Glen Elder, Kansas. 4 elevators, a flats facility, and dedicated people like elevator operator Chris McMillan.
I get excited to come to work because I never really know what I'm going to do that day.
Assistant manager Tony Krause says his team truly believes in the cooperative spirit.
People that are genuine, honest, caring, and it makes a cooperative what it ought to be.
Get the full story at CVAcoop.com. Central Valley Ag Glen Elder. Proud to say we are CVA.
Once again, back in Goodland, Rocky Downing along with Chet Carlson, Zach Elzinga. The Claycenter Tigers getting set to work here on a football Friday against Goodland, and Tigers on the field ready to kick it off. Their defense will be on the field to begin with. Goodland chose to receive the football to start this game. They'll look into what sun is left here going into the west, and the east-west field, not necessarily what we typically see on Friday nights in high school.
No, absolutely. And we play on a couple of them even in our conference, but no, it's not the norm. They're normally north and south.
Tigers will be kicking into the east with the sun behind them here in Goodland, and you can already see the upbacks for Goodland really shielding their eyes against that sun. Could come into play, who knows, early in this football game.
Well, I hope so. Nothing better than to kick off and get the ball right away on a turnover. But, they are a little bit more accustomed to this field.
I would think so, yeah. Tigers' Levi Fitzenmeyer will kick it off here. Your tasty pastry kickoff on a football Friday night. We're about set to go in week number 3. The Tigers and the Cowboys both come in with a 1-win, 1-loss record, both winning in their second games of the season last Friday night. Levi checking the numbers on the field, the official giving the opening whistle, and your tasty pastry kickoff is underway. The left-footed kick is banged downfield inside the 5. It will bounce and then slide out of bounds, and so it'll be a good opportunity for Goodland to take over the football in their first possession. Let's set the defense for the Clay Center Tigers in the backfield. Connor Last, Caleb Mindham play at the quarterback positions. Peyton Lane is your safety. They may shake some things up with what Goodland throws at the Tigers on the offensive side of the football. Jake Ferguson will start in this game as an extra corner, or they'll put an extra safety in basically in the middle of the field. Up front, you have Gavin Ware and Holden Heigl the ends, Garrett Craig, Cody Carlson in the middle, and then the linebackers, Anthony Atkinson, Inniking, Wyatt Alexander, the outside backers, and Gavin Siebold and Dylan Moon, the inside backers for the Tigers. So that sets the defense for Clay Center. Levi Archer, that's a name certainly Tiger fans are well aware of. He has been at quarterback for 4 years now for this team, and he stands in the shotgun with 3 backs around him. An old wishbone look here for the Cowboys early with the double tight end set. He will look right and will hand it off underneath, and a tackle will bounce off of a tackle, in fact, and now the tackle is going to be made outside by Gavin Ware. First hit, Holden Heigl almost had it, and then Ware made the tackle on the outside. The carry that time coming from Dawson Ensign.
Good defense by the Tigers on first down. Goodland starting on the 35-yard line with that kick going out of bounds, but we kicked it away from the return man, and it was a beautiful kick. It was a deep kick. It didn't go out of bounds until between the 1 and 2 yard line.
Archer on the season has rushed for 276 yards, 3 TDs. He has also thrown for 6 touchdowns, 351 yards through the air. Those numbers in just 2 games, of course. So Archer very talented. As he again goes from the gun, he will ride it right side. He's going to pull it out and keep it himself, and he gets downfield, finally tripped up, and now taken down by Wyatt Alexander, Gavin Seabold, Peyton Lane helping finish it off. That's almost out to the midfield stripe and a 1st and 10 for Goodland.
Well, we've watched Levi Archer every year for 4 years. He was good as a freshman, and all he did was get better. Senior-heavy team for Goodland as well. They have 16 seniors on the field, but these guys have played against each other for a number of years.
Tiger defense will dig in near the midfield stripe. 1st and 10 for Goodland. Same formation. And dropping back to pass first time. Firing across the middle, and it's going to be broken up. Good play on the outside by Caleb Mendham. The pass downfield was intended for the Goodland Cowboys' Joseph Mann, but Caleb Mendham there to make the play.
Well, we're going to hear several names tonight, quite a bit. Besides Levi Archer, we're going to hear Dawson Raymer a lot. We're going to hear I think Gibson. Now, we were talking about him. He's got a different number on than in the program. He's a big guy. They announced him as a tight end, but he's usually in that. Well, now he's kind of over in a flanker, but he was in that 3-back position.
And they split the field for the first time in a different formation. 2 receivers wide right, working at right side. This will be handed off outside run and tripped up by Anthony Atkinson. Inning that time is Dawson Ensign. So a short yardage play, it brings up 3rd down and long.
Well, on a little play like that, there's a lot of things going on, and the Tigers did a good job on the far side of the field there of closing that defense in a hurry. It looked like it could result in a few more yards, but we closed it quick.
And I think a big play that he didn't try to make a big play. He just made a sure-handed tackle and dropped the ball carrier down for a gain of 2, maybe 3. It's 3rd down 7. Football is at the Tiger 48-yard line. One back stands beside the quarterback Levi Archer from the gun. He's going to roll left, wants to pass. Pressure coming from Dylan Noon. He fires way downfield as a receiver. Open it, it's dropped. Dawson Raymer, we talked about him. He's his favorite target on the season. He's caught 3 catches, 128 yards. They've all been touchdowns, Chet.
Yeah,
first drop right here on a TD opportunity.
Well, it was if he catches that ball, it's a TD. And I watched him all in the pregame. That's his first drop since 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, and it was on the money. I mean, Archer rolling left, had a little bit of pressure, but good blocking up front, gave him time to square the shoulders up, and didn't take much effort to throw that football about 40-some yards in the air and on the money, but it is dropped, and the Tigers buy an early break here at Goodland.
And the punters looking into the sun, our punt return guys are standing back in the shadows.
Caleb Mendham, Connor Last are back to receive, and there's a penalty flag, looks like procedure, before the snap ever gets going, and so this will be 5 yards further back for the Goodland Cowboys to deal with.
Tell you what, I watched this punter a lot in pregame. I don't know if you did. He has a leg.
Yes, indeed he does. Something we seem to see more and more. First week we saw the kick, place kicker for Phillipsburg that was so impressive, and here tonight we see the work of their punter, Evan Peter.
And he's an important guy in their offense, too, so you always have to watch him. Maybe not in this situation.
Again, Last and Mendham are back to receive. The snap is a good one. The kick is off. And it's a wobbly one. You bragged him up and jinxed him, Chad. It's going to drop out of bounds around the 25 to 30-yard line. We'll see where they mark it out, and it's going to be at the 32. So the Tigers have great field position to start.
Absolutely. And, you know, everything that I was just watching in the pregame, the first drop for Dawson Raymer,
right,
and the only bad punt I've seen out of Peter all day long as well. But Tigers with a good chance to start here on the 32.
Offensive line looks like this. Garrett Craig at the center position. You have Jonathan Kramer-Rainbold and Gavin Ware to one side. Cody Carlson, Holden Heigl to the other. Peyton Lane, the quarterback. Wyatt Alexander, Connor Last, Anthony Atkinson, Inniking. We see those rotate in at the receiver position. And then Gavin Seabold and Caleb Mendham are your backs standing at the wingback with Levi Fitzenmeyer behind Peyton Lane. He starts right, then moves back left, and it's going to be a loss of yards on the play. Almost looked like a busted play to me.
I think it was.
He turned and no one was there to hand off, so he tucked it and tried to run it.
Well, they definitely weren't all on the same page, whether it was busted or not, but it was definitely a broken offensive opportunity.
2-yard loss, second down 12. Goodland stalled on their first possession on a dropped pass that would have been 6, and the Tigers take over thrown 32. They lose 2 yards on that first carry, and now Peyton Lane back in under center. He will turn left this time, handoff underneath, and it's a break outside now. Big run by Caleb Bentham, and he takes it out to the 40, almost 45-yard line. There was a flag down on the play about where Mendham broke free.
Yeah, it's in the position where it could be a holding, could be a block, but it is holding on the Tigers.
So they'll move this instead of first down or near first down at 10. It'll be dropped back to a second down and even longer. The penalty flag was around the 31-yard line, so it'll back him up probably to the 21. The first down marker is at the Tigers' 42.
But that looked good for the Tigers. You know, whenever Caleb gets the ball, we want Mendham to make the corner. You know, and in that first week against Phillipsburg, he just couldn't make the corner. He was able to make the corner last week in some big runs, and that was a nice-looking run there. It would have been for first down.
2 touchdowns last week for Caleb Mendham, 104 yards on the ground, including a 73-yard touchdown sprint. Tigers look to the sideline for the call. Second down and 22 to go. Zeros thus far, 9:17 to work. We're in the opening quarter. Levi Fitzenmeyer behind Peyton Lane, who goes in under center. Mendham in motion, handoff Fitzenmeyer, and the ball gets taken back by Lane. Actually put it in the belly and then ripped it back out, and he does fall forward to the 23-yard line. It'll bring up third down and long.
Yeah, that was second and 22 after the big holding penalty. Didn't pick up too much on that. It was a very short gain. Calling it third and 20.
Third down, 22-yard pickup by Peyton Lane as he goes again back in under center. He has Mendham left wing, and then to the right side, Gavin Siebold. Receiver to the right, Anthony Atkinson-Inniking. Lane under center. Wyatt Alexander's tight to that right side. He will spin right, wants to throw it up in the air, the Ant-Man downfield, and it's just broken up at the last second. Big play by the quarterback on the offensive side, Levi Archer. It was there for Ant to go get. He went up after it. Archer just made a good defensive play.
Yeah, we were in a perfect position to see every aspect of that play. Peyton Lane launched that ball before Anthony made his cut.
Right.
And he's running downfield. It was right on the money. But on the other side of the field, Levi Archer made a great defensive play. He had a spot on that ball just like a center fielder.
So Connor Last will stand at his own 10-yard line, or the 11, to receive the snap for the punt for the Tigers. And we have a penalty flag before this one gets away. Pressure was coming on Last. He went ahead and kicked a good one downfield, but there is a flag on the play.
And I'm sure that'll probably be procedure on the Tigers.
Much like the Goodland Cowboys' first punt of the game.
No.
Well, they're talking to the... It's actually against Goodland. They must have been offsides is the only thing I could come up with.
Yep.
So offsides against the Cowboys makes it fourth down. Still 14 to go, so you punt, but you gain 5 yards before you even put a foot to the ball.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if they're coming for it instead of setting up a return.
They had somebody in the backfield after the whistle blew, so you would think that might be the case. Last, good snap has it. They do come after it, but he gets it away. A high, wobbly kick. It's going to bounce into the midfield stripe, takes a Tiger bounce to the Goodland Cowboys 41-yard line, and down there by Atkinson-Inniking. So the Tigers defense will be back on the field, and we'll see Levi Archer and this group of Goodland Cowboys back as well.
Yeah, the entire football game has taken place between the two 30-yard lines so far.
So Goodland takes over to 41. Both teams have had pretty good field position to start. Goodland from their own 35 stalled on the incomplete pass, the dropped pass, and then the Tigers stalling out after the holding penalty bumped them back to second and eventually third down and long, and they would punt then on fourth down. 8:21 to work, no score, first quarter. Now that spread offense, kind of the pistol look for the Goodland Cowboys. Archer stands in the gun. He will hand off underneath. This is Ensign, and he gets some space to run. Now breaks a tackle. He is tripped up by Peyton Lane, but he gains about 4 or 5 more yards into Tiger territory. Nobody got a hand on Ensign once he got to the line of scrimmage, and then once he got to open space, a little guy can scoot.
He really can, and I remember him doing a little bit of that against us in the past as well. I thought we had a line on him right at the line of scrimmage. But once he broke through that line of scrimmage, he was off to the races.
So 1st and 10, Goodland takes it to the Tiger 45-yard line. Tiger defense, Gavin Ware, Holden Heigl the ends. Same formation. Receiver in motion. They hand off to Ensign underneath. And again, he gets to the middle. Gavin Stiebel makes the hit. Dylan Boone comes up to finish it off. It'll be a gain of 5, though, on the play on 1st down and brings up 2nd and 5 at the Tiger 40.
Boy, Ensign is little, isn't he? And he kind of gets hidden back there because Goodland has a good-sized line. They got a bunch of big linemen. Gets kind of lost back behind his blockers.
And all seniors but one on that front row for the Goodland Cowboys, and they are big. And as Chet said, Ensign kind of gets down low with the football in his hands and is able to weave his way around those big guys. They will fake it this time. Archer trying to bounce it outside. Tigers did a good job to contain. Anthony Atkinson will drop him for a 7-yard loss. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Well, Anthony played his position that time, and he stayed home. He stayed honest, and he had other things he had to watch as well. But Levi brought the ball right to him. Big loss on the play.
And again, just a short-handed tackle. 7-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 12. Now, last time on 3rd and long, they went up top and just missed what would have been 6. The ball was dropped downfield by the receiver, Dawson Raymer, who's very sure-handed. He comes wide left near our side, near the Tiger sideline. They put a stack of receivers to this side. Archer from the gun. He will drop to pass. Has time. Sits in the pocket. Still time. Now steps forward. He's going to run it. Giving chase. Jonathan Kramer-Rainbow almost had him. Now it's going to be a tackle downfield by Logan McDonald. It will be short of 1st down yardage. Dangerous runner when he gets out in the open field, Chet. And the pressure was coming. Archer read it. He gets it to 4th down and 2. I would say likely Goodland goes for it.
Yeah, I don't see him punting. Yeah, they're bringing in their bigger guys, the tight end type package. They don't necessarily line them up at a tight end,
right?
But it's a tight end type package, a tight end type athletes they bring in. But we needed to stop him about 7 yards sooner and bring the punter on.
He was close. He made great contact, but he was running away and made good closure to get a chance to get there. Again on 4th down and 2, Goodland going for it. Archer is going to hand it off the end zone. He's hitting the backfield. He is dropped. He is dropped in the backfield. Cody Carlson shoots through and makes the tackle, and Goodland turns it over on down.
Cody Carlson got into that backfield, and he made contact in a hurry. He knew who had the ball, and he put a big shoulder pad on him. Then he had teammates coming behind him to make sure the tackle was done.
Is that the first big play of the game for the Tiger defense maybe that turns this tide? Cody Carlson, 4th and 2, shoots through and drops him for a loss. Tigers take over at their own 40-yard line. One receiver is wide left for the Tigers. That is Connor Last. Peyton Lane, handoff underneath, and squirting through. Levi Fitzenmeyer gains a couple of short yards right through the middle of the line. It's going to be 2nd down. Let's call it 7, a gain of 3. Correction, it's Wyatt Alexander that's wide left for the Tigers in this offensive set with Mendham and Siebold, the wingbacks. And now Dylan Moon is in at that opposite side of Caleb Mendham at a wingback position. 2nd down, 7. Tigers with the football at their own 43-yard line. Lane under center. Turns right, now moves back left. Little counter quarterback keep. He gets near the 45 and then squirts a little bit further ahead of that. And it will bring up 3rd down and about 4.
And he fumbled. We recovered, and we picked up about 1.5 yards on the fumble.
So Peyton Lane fighting for extra yards. I thought he needed a touchdown before the ball came loose. Fortunate for the Tigers, it actually did. Now they have 3rd down 2. And now look to the sideline. You know, we thought that was a busted play the first play of the game. It was not. I think it's a quarterback counter.
I think you're right.
He turns right and then moves back left, and they maybe pull a guard to go to that left side. 3rd down short. Lane's going to keep it himself. First 7 yardage and more. Big play. Lane takes it inside the Goodland end of the field. It'll be 1st and 10. It's at the Cowboy 47-yard line.
Lots of times when a quarterback keeps the ball on a bit of a counter and comes out like that, they're going to come outside. He cut inside his tackle and took it back upfield.
1st and 10. Tigers moving the football. No score. We have 4:18 to work in this opening period. Receiver wide right this time is Connor Last. And now the official asking for a stop of play as the down marker was being positioned by the sideline crew. Now we're set to work. Lane under center. First and 10. He will pitch it out right side men to Met in the backfield. Still gets by the first would-be tackler, but he's going to lose a yard or two. Unfortunate, so lose only that.
Exactly right. He squirted through. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a 4 to 5 yard loss, and he cut that about in half by getting away from that first tackler.
Toughest leather, you know.
Yeah. Only a loss of 1.
Yeah, no kidding. He got closer to the line of scrimmage than I had first thought. Atkinson Enneking is back in. Second down, 11. Football is at the Goodland 48-yard line. First quarter action, no score. Lane turns left, pitches out left for Mendham, trying to get the corner to the sideline, tried to stagger by a defender, and a great open field tackle by Dawson Raymer against the Tigers' Caleb Mendham. And we know what he can do in the open field. He had one guy, but Raymer just made a sure-handed ankle go-low tackle that time.
And Heigl loses his helmet on that play as well. I saw, and it went rolling a long ways down there, but he has to come out for a play.
Luke Koppas will come in on the line for him up front as Heigl will re-secure the helmet. Third down and 13. The football now back around the 49-yard line. Still at Goodland's end of the field with 2:52 to work and no score. Tigers have it third and long. Connor Last is wide to the right side, and tight right is Atkinson Enneking. Meyer behind Lane. He's going to roll right, looking to pass, looking toward Connor Last. Fires, hits him. He gets it to the 42, bounces off a tackle, and then is knocked down. Will they give him forward progress? It does not appear they will. He was near the 41, Chad. He bounced off the tackler and then was tackled around the 43, and it'll be 4th down and 7.
And he's mad at himself because he didn't break 2 tackles.
He had 2 tacklers on him, and he still didn't go down on that play, but good gun by Peyton Lane, and Connor Last made the catch in traffic. Bounced off a tackler, but backwards, and the Tigers will be forced to punt it again with 2:03 to work. Return men back, shielding their eyes to that sun once more. The kick is away. It is going to be Raymer who makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. A return to the right side, gets by one tackler, now finds the sideline and has some blockers. Right sideline he goes. Cooper Glavin turns him back into the middle of the field, but now Raymer's going to get loose. There is a penalty flag back at the 30-yard line on Goodland's end of the field. We'll see if that brings this back or not. What a run, though, from Dawson Raymer. Hopefully it was an illegal block of some sort to bring this back for the Tigers.
Well, in my eyes, Jake Ferguson got held out there. And I hope that's what the call is, because it to me,
it is an illegal block. It may be a shot block of some sort even, because it looked like they gave a personal foul signal, but I got in late on the official toward the Goodland side, which means his back is to us. But it will bring what would have been a touchdown back. So there's 2 would-be touchdowns, Chet, the Tigers have had taken back. One a drop pass, and now the penalty flag.
And both of them, Dawson Raymer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Both of them, Dawson Raymer. He's just that athlete. And so, I mean, they have several of them. So is Levi Archer. So is the little guy.
The Ensign, yeah.
Little Darren Sproles guy.
No kidding.
But, that's a big deal. And that was the one would-be tackler right off the bat was Jake Ferguson. He was trying to get out of that. He was tied up.
It has moved back inside the 20-yard line, so instead of 6-0 and Goodland going for an extra point on a 90-some-yard return by Dawson Raymer, it's going to be 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line as Goodland takes the football back over. Still no score, 1:40 to work. We're in the opening period. Logan McDonald, Garrett Craig inside on the line right now as Archer goes with the spread formation, the pistol formation from the gun. Little high snap, and he has it. Handoff Ensign running right side. He is going to be sure-handed tackled this time. Play in the middle made by the Clay Center Tigers, Gavin Siebold. We talked about him, a ball hawk last week, Friday. So many tackles in that football game, and another one here, short yardage play. He does get about 5, but the way Ensign's run, that's pretty good containment.
No kidding. And we need all those guys to play that type of defense all night long tonight. And they've got a lot more confidence. They've had it ever since the third quarter of the last game. And I like the pace the Tigers are showing tonight. For another minute and 8 seconds, Goodland has the sun in their eye.
Right.
Then it turns around on us.
Second down 5 for the Cowboys. Again, no score nearing the end of the opening quarter. In motion goes Jippy. Handoff again, Ensign. Turned into the middle of the field, but he is going to get downfield, and finally it's going to be brought down. Peyton Lane, along with help coming in for the Clay Center Tigers that time, and Trevin Shirley. The tackle's made, but it's 1st and 10.
That was the punter. That was 22.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, Evan Peter that time instead of Ensign with the run. 1st and 10, Goodland now out to their own 34-yard line.
I thought, man, he's got about 60 pounds. He's not big, but he's got about 60 pounds on him. But
so 1st and 10, football from the 34 for the Goodland Cowboys on their end of the field. Tigers have Seabold and Moon, the inside backers, Shirley and Atkinson Inniking, and a tackle made on that right side this time by Gavin Seabold. Called him a ball hawk a minute ago in the last game on Friday night with a bunch of tackles. 16 tackles, solo and assisted combined for Gavin Seabold.
I know. That's an amazing night on defense. That's some people's season. That's going to be the last play of the quarter, so now the Tigers are going to have the sun in their eyes for a little while.
First quarter comes to a close. No score here in Goodland. Cowboys with a 2nd down and 5 when we come back.
Get free milk with Ray's Apple Market's Milk Cow Club card. When you buy a gallon or half gallon, you get a punch on your card. And Wednesdays are double punch days. Then after 12 punches, you get a free gallon or half gallon of milk. Your filled card registers you for a chance to win free milk for a year.
Here at Ray's, it is our passion to give you, our customer, a pleasant, time-saving shopping experience while providing exceptional products at value prices with uncommon customer service. Thank you from our family to yours. Shop small, shop local.
As a farmer, every season brings with it a number of decisions to make. Right now, you're deciding what variety of wheat seed to buy and how many acres to plant. At Wilbur Ellis, we have the information you need on the latest seed technology, plant nutrition, and protection. We have wheat seed and cover crop seed with the right traits and genetics, along with multiple ways to apply them. Let us also supply your starter fertilizer and nitrogen. We're Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed and Feed.
So defense dominates this opening quarter, the Clay Center Tigers and the Goodland Cowboys, although Clay Center has had some breaks, Chad, let's be honest. The drop pass, the punt return, the punt return that's called back, and so they're holding on right now 0-0.
Oh, absolutely. Goodland has looked a little sharper. I like the pace of the Tigers through the first quarter of play, but momentum is picking up right now for Goodland.
Archer from the gun fires out in the flats left side, and a great open field play for the Tigers on the outside that time by Connor Last. He had a blocker right on him, Chad. He got rid of him and then destroyed the ball carrier, Raymer, the receiver that time.
Well, Connor had the other thing. He was on the other side of that play just a little while ago over here in front of us, so he wanted to make that defensive play.
He had no help, though, like Goodland's defense did on Connor Last. That was a solo play to get rid of a defender who was really on him. I thought had a good block going, and instead Raymer's brought down for a short yardage gain. It brings up 3rd down 4. Archer with a wingback right. A back stands beside him from the gun. He will roll right, wanting to run it, and now he's got a little bit of open field near the first down marker. He gets through and is going to get to the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for Goodland, as they do move the chains once again. So Levi Archer, designed quarterback to keep that time to the right side. He had a couple of good blocks for the line and was able to move through.
He had a good angle. He had a good angle on the yard, the down marker, and, he picked up what he needed to for the first down. He was able to come through. The Tigers were able to close on him, but not before he picked up the first down.
Archer back in formation now from that gun, has 2 receivers stacked to the short side right, and now will keep it himself, bounces outside, and now he gets the open field, although he's caught from behind. The tackle is going to be made by Peyton Lane, and there's a penalty flag in the backfield. And it's on Goodland. Another holding call in the middle of the field. That's probably why it opened up for Levi Archer near the line of scrimmage.
I would think so, because he turned and he was able to all of a sudden sprint for about 8 yards without being touched.
So it will be Goodland moved back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll stay first down, but now about 1st and 20.
Well, the penalty cost against Goodland tonight is not necessarily the penalty in yardage, because you mark off that block on the punt, but you bring back a 90-yard return.
A great point, yeah. And now instead of 1st and 10, Clay Center's into the field. You're looking at first down and 23 to go.
Yeah, you have statistical yards, and then you have real yards.
Archer And looking to hand off underneath. No, he's going to keep it himself, and he is tripped up. Holden Heigl, Gavin Siebold got the first contact in there. And Archer, a short yardage play, brings up third down, and now about 16 to go. He did get 7 yards on the play, but on a 1st and 23, they did a good job to contain the quarterback that's dangerous.
He's dangerous. Now, I think he's grown even between his junior and senior year, because I didn't remember him. He's always been athletic. I didn't remember him being quite this big. But another thing that's developed on him is quickness. He can get up to full speed in about a step and a half.
Yeah, he had the ball in the belly of his tailback that time and pulled it out late and is still able to get downfield. Now back to pass-off play action. Stan fires way downfield. Connor Last on defense. Incomplete. It'll bring up third down and long. That's just kind of a wobbly throw downfield that time, Chad. And Connor Last stride for stride, Peyton Lane in the area, and really no chance for the receiver.
I think there was nothing wrong that I saw there, but everything looked awkward. So I was just glad to not see a flag, because there was no infraction that I saw, but everything was awkward, including the fact that the official was in the way.
And he got turned around. I don't know if you noticed, the official did. It may have helped because he could have turned late, saw something, thought he saw something that wasn't there. Third down, 19 to go. Screen play on the right side, and it's dropped. That'll bring up fourth and long. First screen pass we've seen thrown tonight, and Ensign drops it. It was a bit behind him and up near his shoulder pad. Would have been a tough catch to make, but he was unable to haul it in, and it brings up fourth down and very long.
If he would have pulled that in, he was about to meet number 16 for Clay Center, who had a full head of steam. And so he
may not have liked that.
Nah, he's probably just as well that he didn't catch that. But it was kind of thrown on his back shoulder, and he turned the wrong way.
So back to receive, now looking into that son we talked about, Connor Last and Caleb Bindum. Evan Peter, the kick. Garrett Craig got close. The ball is away. It's going to bound near the sideline, and again kicked out of bounds. You can see the punter frustrated with his kick, but Garrett Craig had something to do with that. He was close to him.
Yeah, number 54 got into that backfield and at least made him think about it. And that's something that wasn't going on when I was watching him punt in pregame all the time.
Do have a score. Concordia leads Chapman 6-0. That's at the end of one quarter. Concordia up on Chapman 6-0, end of one period.
Now, the Tigers are facing the sun now, but the shadows have gotten really long because it's starting to come down behind the school. The line was about 50 yards further upfield than it is now. You're not really in the sun until back at about the 30, 25-yard line.
Yeah, in fact, from the line of scrimmage, which is the 33 for the Tigers, actually maybe the 34, hardly in their eyes at all right now. Peyton Lane under center, and motion goes Mendham. Lane's going to keep it himself, and still fighting for yardage, still fighting to move forward, and finally pushed backward. He should get 2 or 3 yards on the forward progress. We'll see where they mark him down at. I don't like the spot. It's right in the line of scrimmage. So he gains nothing. I thought he had a couple of yards anyway, and it was pushed backwards, but it'll be no gain, second down 10.
It's one of those they never, certainly wasn't a problem with a quick whistle.
Right.
But you weren't sure where they were going to spot it.
Wyatt Alexander is tight on the left side. That same left side in almost a slot position is Anthony Atkinson-Inniking. That's the short side of the field, second down 10. Mendham in motion. Lane keeps it again and will fall forward to the 35-yard line. Maybe gets a couple this time. It'll bring up third down and long.
Well, this is a new focus this week with the Tigers. There's been a real focus on Peyton Lane basically running a lot up the middle between the tackles and a lot of misdirection quarterback runs there. But, instead of starting the game out just pounding with Levi Fitzmyer, we're ready to bring on some handoffs to Levi now.
Guys, I think you could be right setting up the big bull by trying to keep it out of his belly for a while. He's been close to giving it and maybe reading something as well. Third down and long, turns right side this trip. Option play right, Peyton Lane looking to pitch. Now breaks a tackle, gets to the outside and across the 40-yard line, but it brings up fourth down, still about 3 yards left to go.
Oh, man, he was so close to breaking that for even more. He got a good gain on the play, but it's in a situation where the Tigers probably have no chance but to punt. It's fourth and probably 3 on the wrong end of the field.
4th and 3. They are going to line up to go for it, though, Chad. We'll see if they're trying to draw them off or if they try to make a big play here early. 4th down 3. Tigers in motion, Mendham. Lane now stands, looks to the sideline. They'll readjust. And Peyton Lane may drop back and punt this on a little short kick, but it's a high snap over his head. Lane picks it up, squares, fires downfield with a kick that's going to roll to the Goodland 40-yard line.
Wow, he made something out of
Big time, yes. The snap over his head, they were trying to get a chance for a short kick there with a drop-back quarterback. The snap goes over his head. He retrieves it somehow as defenders coming at him, and it's a line drive kick, which was good for the Tigers because it got some roll on it and puts Goodland back at their own 40-yard line in a good position.
That was one football play that had about 4 storylines in it, before it was done. But the Tigers did avoid a disaster there, but still Goodland taking over with good field position on their 40.
Peyton, a little gas has to come out. Cooper Glavin in at safety right now for the Tigers as Archer stands in the gun with a spread field. One back, and he will hand it now near the line of scrimmage. Tigers do a great job this time to put a wall up at the line of scrimmage, and you see the likes of Gavin Siebold and Gavin Ware coming off the play.
Gavin Ware met him, number 53 met him, and Siebold was right in there as well. Ware never let go. He just gave him that bear hug and then started backpedaling with him.
So Gunny Mullen in there on that play. He was back in the backfield. Freshman for the Tigers out there. 7 minutes to work. We're in the opening half. Tigers and Goodland Cowboys 0. Second down 10. Goodland from their own 41-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Archer wanting to pass. Fires out in the flat. Has Raymer again. Great open field play by Jake Ferguson. Raymer tried to dance with him, and Jake just said, "No, I got your belly button. Here I go." Tackled him right on the spot.
Exactly. He didn't give he didn't budge an inch after the catch was made. It's 3rd and about 3.
Raymer had the hips moving that time, trying to shake free, and Jake Ferguson just stood his ground and then got right into the mix and made the tackle. No yardage after the catch. 3rd down, 3 to go, as Chet said. It's just short of the 50-yard line. 6:15 to work, opening half. No score here in Goodland. Cowboys with the football, 3rd down, 3. Archer hands it off. This is through the middle, and spinning off of a tackle. Dylan Moon looked like they had him, and then he lets the ball carrier get by. Tremendous effort to spin through the tackle by the ball carrier Ensign, and it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Goodland. They move it to the 40-yard line now of Play Center.
Hey, well, we've got a couple of quality skilled players that aren't real big, but Ensign is by far the smallest football player on the field, but he's
pound per pound. Yeah.
He is tough.
Yeah, punch per pound is really, really big for the little running back. Goodland has it 1st and 10 again at the Tiger 40-yard line. Archer fires out a little wide receiver screen this time, and Raymer splits through 2 defenders. The tackle made by Wyatt Alexander on the outside, and Holden Heigl in there as well. It will be a gain of 5. 2nd down, 5 to go.
Honestly, with the type of personnel that they have, I'm surprised we hadn't seen a wide receiver screen before now.
Right.
With the way those 2 guys can play catch.
So bubble screen, they kind of put him outside, he bubbled back, and then a couple of blockers out in front. Tigers did a pretty good job to contain it, allowed just the 5 yards. So it's 2nd down, 5. It's at the Tiger 35-yard line. Archer, high snap, but he has it. He's wanting to run it. Goes right side, now splits through the middle. He's tackled by Gavin Ware in the open field. It will be very close to 1st down, maybe a yard shy. If a yard, it's going to be 3rd down, very short. Tigers trying to rotate some people in. I saw Gavin Siebold getting a breather on the sideline a minute ago. Cody Carlson right now on the sideline, just trying to keep guys fresh. Holden Heigl coming out to get a little blow and a chance to get a drink before going back out there. It is a hot, muggy night for both these teams, who both play both ways for the most part on offense and defense. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout taken by the Tigers with 4:25 to work in the second quarter. There's no score here in Goodland. Stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
If you're looking for a good place to work with good pay, great benefits, and equipment, look no further than TSI Kansas Incorporated.
We're looking for a few good truck drivers who take pride in their work. We make sure our drivers are treated well because they are the driving force of our business.
TSI Kansas is a family-owned and operated company, and we understand the importance of yours.
We'd love to have you join our team here at TSI Kansas. Give Heather in recruiting a call at 632-5183. Find us on Facebook or at tsikansas.com.
Come to Robbins Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat for their summer clearance event going on now. Test drive drive a new 2017 Ram truck, the longest-lasting truck in America, now priced to move with deep summer discounts and 0% for 72 months. Now is the time to buy. See the complete inventory online at RobbinsMotors.com or stop by and see them on West Anderson in Manhattan. Robbins Motor Company is a proud supporter of Tiger football.
We mentioned Concordia leading Chapman after the end of 6-0. I've got a couple of more scores I'll get to you in just a moment. Right now, though, it's 3rd down and inches for the Goodland Cowboys, and they go from that deep shotgun, and now it's a low snap that rolls backwards. Inside gets back to it, and the Tigers will see Goodland forced out to a 4th down and long. I bring up the fact that, he's at 3rd and, literally inches, Chet. They never go under center. They haven't done it since we've seen them play, and the gun hurt them this time.
Oh, and that snap never got out of the grass.
Right.
It never got, but it had a little heat on it, so it got back there.
From 3rd and inches now to 4th and 13. Abilene trails Andover Central 14-0 end of 1, and Marysville up 8-7 on Wamego end of 1 quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
So the Red Raiders testing Marysville at least early. And now Goodland, who went from 3rd and inches now to a punt. High spiraling punt that angles toward the sideline and hits out of bounds. So the Tigers dodge another bullet, and they've done it throughout this first half, Chet, but that is a huge break. From 3rd and inches, you may get a new set of downs. Even if you don't get the run, you're going to go for it on 4th down at that point. Instead, you end up punting the football.
Well, the down marker and the first down end of the chain literally was side by side, touching each other.
Right.
To say it was 3rd and inches couldn't be more true, but that snap, just took them clear out of offense.
They asked for a measurement. In fact, to back up Chet's point, I think they slid a credit card down between the ball marker and football, right?
You're right.
1st down and 10. Football is at the Tigers' own 10-yard line. Under center goes Peyton Lane. 1st and 10. He's working left side. Now tries to get out to the out. Turns it back in. Breaks off one tackle. Gets across the 10-yard line. Short yardage play for the Tigers on 1st down. Looked like it was maybe going to open up. Goodland did a good job to close it in a hurry.
They really did. But Peyton, we wanted to keep the ball, I think, in Peyton's hands on that play because of where we are on the field. And Peyton was just scrapping for everything he could get there, but no gain on the play.
Tigers spreading the field. 2 receivers right. Connor Last slotted that side, and Atkinson Inniking. Then wide left was Gavin Siebold rolling to pass. Lane downfield looking for Last, and he just overthrows him. 2 defenders in the area, but Connor Last had a stride on them, and Peyton Lane made sure it was going to be Last, if anyone, and he just threw it a bit too far.
Yeah, Connor Last was the only one that was going to get to that ball if anybody did. Peyton also had to get rid of the ball when he did. He was near his goal line and had a little heat on him.
Can't take any chances that deep in the field. Now it's 3rd down and long. Again, the Tigers from their own 10. 3rd down, 10 to go. 3 minutes to work in this first half of play. Tigers put Siebold back in that wing position along with Mendham. Levi Fitzenmeyer behind Peyton Lane. Back to pass again, Lane. Fires across the middle, looking for Connor Last. The pass is caught at the 40-yard line. It's a race downfield. He's to the 35-30, the 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Brought down at the Goodland Cowboy 5-yard line. Peyton Lane on the money to Connor Last. And how about the speed of the senior getting downfield?
I thought Connor Last was going to get tackled as soon as he caught that ball. And all of a sudden, he starts pulling away from the defenders. They weren't able to pull him in at about the 6-yard line.
Oh, and that defender he pulled away from, Dawson Raymer.
I know.
Amazing effort by Connor Last after the catch to get downfield. Now the Tigers have it at the 6, 2:47 to go, second quarter. And from 3rd and inches at your own 30, all of a sudden, 1st down and goal at the Goodland 6. A huge turnaround for the Tigers. Let's see if they can capitalize. Lane, handoff underneath. Levi Fitzenmeyer digging inside the 5-yard line. See where they mark him down at, maybe right at the 5, a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal. 2.5 to work. We're in the second quarter. No score as of yet here in Goodland. It'll be 2nd down. Coming up at halftime, by the way, we will hear from Coach Robert Moran. We'll talk Lady Tiger volleyball, the week they've had, and their trip to Rossville tomorrow. That's coming up at halftime here on 100.9. Right now, the Tigers trying to head into half with some points on the board. It's 0-0, 2 minutes left to work in the first half. Tigers 2nd down goal. Handoff to the fake to Levi Fitzenmeyer, and then Peyton Lane takes it in. Touchdown, Tigers. touchdown. Place-hitter Tigers, the fake to Levi. They keyed on him this time, Chet, even though he hasn't had the ball much. And Peyton Lane made the perfect read and dives across for 6.
Oh, and kind of those Lane crazy legs going through that opening up there, but he found the end zone.
6-0, Tigers with the lead, and now the extra point try will be for coming on from Connor Last. All set up on the 3rd and long. Remember, you got your 10, 3rd and long, and you take it to their 6-yard line on the Lane to Connor Last catch and run. The kick is up, and it is good.
Wow.
A little bit of a high snap. Good job by Cooper Glavin to get that hold down, and then Last bangs it through. The Tigers lead it 7-0. Here in Goodland, stay with us. Tiger football will continue next.
Injuries can occur at inconvenient times, but Ortho On Call is there for you. The After Hours Injury Clinic at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center is open Monday through Friday till 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday till 4 p.m. They can treat broken bones, strains and sprains, as well as small cuts or wounds with no appointment necessary. Ortho On Call provides an alternative to emergency rooms and urgent care, and they accept most insurances. Located at 1600 Charles Place in Manhattan. The greatest comebacks begin here.
It's third Thursday time again, and Wall Street Value is loading up the bargains for your shopping pleasure. Save on select appliances, building materials like vanity sinks, screws, storm doors, and pre-hung interior and exterior doors. We got lots of stuff to move out, like a patio umbrella, tables, and chairs. There might be something for your tummy as well. We will have these bargains priced to move and move fast, so stop in at Thursday night at Wall Street Value in beautiful downtown Clay Center. Open 7 days a week for you.
1:56 to go in the half. The Tigers now with a 7-0 lead. And, they kind of hold on, they get a break or two, and now they've taken advantage, Chet.
Oh, absolutely. We did not have everything looking our way there for a while. We were in the game. We give up a long return that comes back penalty. Give up a big play, comes back penalty. Then they shoot themselves in the foot, 3rd and inches. But then the Tigers, 3rd and long, they go up top, Peyton Lane to Connor Last, 85 yards on the play, gets it to the 6.
Now the return for Ensign from inside the 5 off the kick from Levi Fitzemeyer, right back up the middle, and they are going to stand him up at about the 25-yard line. First contact just to slow him down. Trevin Shirley like a missile getting in there, and then the rest of the crew finished it off.
Number 17 went flying downfield, and he did make the initial contact, and then he had help from his teammates put the return man on the ground.
7-0 Tigers lead it. 1:49 to work. We're in the opening half. Second quarter action. Goodland will have the football now. Certainly nothing secure at this time with a big play team like the Cowboys, but the Tigers have the lead at least. Levi Archer from the gun. Pistol formation. Wide spread. They will hand it off. Ensign cuts back underneath. He's tackled by Garrett Hollywood Craig. He slipped a bit on the cutback, and Garrett Craig was right there to eat him up.
Tiger defense did a pretty good job there all the way up and down the line because he was having to make a couple of cuts to find his way. Tigers did a good job. Only picked up 1 yard on the play.
Minute 25, clock ticking here in the second period. Both teams a full complement of timeouts, but Goodland at this point not thinking about a TO. 2nd down long.
And they are a big play team, and I look for them to maybe try to open up the field a little bit here with a little over a minute to go in the half.
Lucas Wood, the receiver, wide right side. They have 2 stacked to the left. Archer's going to run it himself left side. Design run for the quarterback, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds by Wyatt Alexander. It looks like it would be just short of first down yardage. 3rd down and a couple of yards maybe to go for Goodland.
Wyatt Alexander did a good job of stretching the field there. And he used the sideline as his helper on defense. Stopped him about 3 yards to go for the first down.
So a minute left. Tigers up 7-0. It'll be 3rd down 2. Football is at the 31 of Goodland.
There's a lot of times Levi will come out like that, and he's planning to pass or use it as an option. That was designed to run all the way.
He has a receiver in motion from left to right. Now he is going to hand it off underneath. Ensign hitting the backfield and then wrapped up and driven down. The tackle made near the line of scrimmage by Gavin, where the Beast does it again.
Give him 2 points for the takedown on that one.
That might have been straight to a pin on that one.
Some back points.
He does get the first down on the play, but a big-time hit by Gavin Ware. Something to think about as we move toward halftime. I think we've got a couple of nominees for several awards after this first half of play. 44 to work, 1st and 10 from their own 35. Goodland with the football. Archer, play action. Stands in the pocket. He is hit. He is brought down. Garrett Craig with the sack. A little tap at the end by Gavin Ware, but that's Hollywood Craig getting through the middle and bringing down Levi Archer with a sack. He had a sack last week as well. 24 to work in the half. Goodland not taking a timeout. It'll be 2nd down and 20 after the sack play by Garrett Craig. And Goodland may not run another play. They are very slow to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They're headed to the locker room.
And they are going to let this thing go to zeros, and the Tigers will take a halftime lead, 7-0. An 85-yard pass play from Peyton Lane to Connor Last set up the touchdown run from Lane, and the extra point from Last made it 7-0. The Tigers lead it. We're headed to halftime here at Goodland.
Between prying the kids out of bed and bribing your 6-year-old to brush her teeth, you could say the morning routine can be a bit chaotic. But with Michelin tires, you can enjoy a little peace of mind on the way to school. And from August 23rd to September 17th, you can get a $70 reward card after submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires.
Stop by Bud's Tire Service, 410 Court, or call 632-2135. And good luck, Tigers.
See MichelinMan.com/promo for details. Offer expires 9/17/17. Void where prohibited.
Did you capture a protein premium on your wheat this season? If not, it may be time to reconsider what you're planting. Oldie Seed is introducing several new varieties that will provide excellent yield and protein potential, and all varieties meet the Oldie Gold standard. Wheat technology is evolving, and planting one of the Oldie Seed top-yielding varieties or blends this season is the first step in achieving higher yields and increased income. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Great taste, fresh ingredients, lots of menu choices, all made to order with fast and friendly service. It all adds up to Subway, the one place where you can build your own meal exactly the way you like it. Subway in Clay Center is proud to sponsor CCCHS athletes, and whether you're heading to the game or getting ready to hit the road for home, the crew at Subway looks forward to seeing and serving you. Tiger fans and Subway, a winning combination. When physical disabilities or injuries make everyday mobility a challenge or even dangerous, Patterson's Health Mart Pharmacy is there with durable medical supplies to get you where you need to go safely. They'll help you with canes, walkers, crutches, braces, and wheelchairs. They'll even fit diabetics with shoes made especially for their comfort needs. So for safety and mobility, it's good to know where to find the durable medical supplies that can give you the freedom to remain as active as possible. They're at Patterson's Health Mart Pharmacy in downtown Clay Center.
Back once again at halftime, the Clay Center Tigers with a 7-0 lead, Chad, and you could look at a whole lot of things that happened in the first half and think that wouldn't have been a possibility.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, we did not have the right side of the ledger card on momentum there for a while. Everything was, I liked our pace early, but then everything was clicking pretty good for Goodland, but they had several big plays that they didn't get to keep. One was a drop pass, one was a return for a touchdown that came back. Then they had some problems on 4th down a little bit on both sides of the ball. And, you know, the Tigers were just able to take advantage of that.
Clay Center up 7-0. So many big plays and ifs and ands and buts and all those things you could talk about.
Right.
Some breaks, certainly, for the Tigers, as you mentioned. But then when they needed to make something happen, they did. 10-yard line, 3rd and long, Peyton Lane hits Connor Last. And on a dime, by the way, the pass from Lane to Last. But then it was all Connor Last after that.
Oh, absolutely. Connor looked so good on that, and he was pulling away from some of their playmakers. They were able to gather him in at the 6-yard line, but we were able to take the next few plays to work the ball into the end zone for a touchdown. Now, as we look at this game, you know, it's the big play can make a difference, and it doesn't matter whether it's running, passing, whatever, but it's the same thing that was our success last week. You know, their time of possession tonight is 16 minutes. Ours is 8. You know, but we have 115 yards of total offense, and they have 8. You know, so if you take the yard per minute, we're way ahead of them.
Well, it does resemble last week to some degree in the manner in which the Tigers were able to score and get those things to happen. So,
absolutely.
But, you know, we've had some breaks, and we're not going to say we haven't. The punt return, the penalty. But I think the punt return doesn't happen without that penalty. It had a true effect on the play, so good call. The drop pass certainly was a true break. bobbled snap after going for it on or having 3rd and inches. You end up punting the football, and that turned into the Tiger drive for the touchdown.
Yeah, and this will probably change in the second half. But my stat of the game, best candidate so far at this point, we have 2 penalties for 25 yards. They have 4 penalties for 35 yards. But you might as well say that's 135 yards. You know, because
that's a great point.
That took a kickoff return or punt return, whatever, off the scoreboard for him. You know, and it was the full length of the field he ran.
Tigers up 7-0. We're at the halftime break. Stay with us. We're going to come back in a moment and talk with Coach Robert Moran. We'll talk Lady Tiger volleyball, then we'll bring you back here to Goodland.
When you grow corn or soybeans for a living, you're always looking for the latest advances to help your fields be more profitable. That's why it's time to turn to Channel. When you plant Elite Channel seed products, you also get the services of your very own Channel seedsman. You see, your seedman works with you year-round to make the most of your operation.
For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact Colton with Frontier Ag Supply, 785-630-0596.
What happened?
This house is too small.
So let's buy a new house.
But we can't afford a new house. Money doesn't grow on trees.
That's why we'll go to United Bank and Trust. I heard they have low mortgage rates that are affordable for everyone.
Well, then let's go right now.
Stop and see me, Maria Fitzemeyer, or me, Carla Sweet, at United Bank and Trust to talk about getting your new home loan process started. Or visit us online at ubankonline.com. United Bank and Trust, banking for your way of life. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back at halftime from Goodland, the Clay Center Tigers facing the Cowboys tonight, and we get a chance to talk Tiger volleyball with head coach Robert Moran back at the helm in 2017, and in the middle of a very busy week, or I guess toward the end of a very busy week with Riley County last Saturday, and Tuesday the matchup with Smoky Valley and Lions, and then headed to Rossville tomorrow. Coach, first off, thanks for joining us and taking time out of what is a hectic schedule for the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a pretty good start to the year. Been, like you said, been pretty hectic. We're, right in the middle of our season when the tournaments start to hit, and we're playing a couple times a week. And you feel like some weeks you don't get enough practice time because you're always on the go with either varsity or JV or freshman. Somebody's playing. So pretty hectic, but we're having a good time.
I know this is a team that you've talked with me off the air about that you really like the potential that's there. You're just hoping to get things going in the direction you feel they can go this year.
Yeah, I do feel like we've got the pieces in place. We didn't return a lot of experience from last year's team, so that's been a little bit of a learning curve for us, getting our few veterans that we do have, getting them to kind of mesh with our younger girls coming up, and it's taken a little bit of time, and I knew it would. And what I like is I've seen some improvements. We've had a couple of setbacks, but as far as our overall play, I feel like we're moving in the right direction.
You can move in the right direction and make those strides, but you need some payoff. You got that on Tuesday against Smoky Valley and Lions. You win it in straight sets, and seemed like across the board, a lot of balance up at the net, and serving was strong once again. So had to feel good about Tuesday.
It was good to get the wins because if we look back to last Saturday, I thought we played better than we came out record-wise. So I was really looking for Tuesday to be, that next step forward, and it was nice to get the wins, but we did lack just a little bit of intensity that we had on Saturday. So that's what, when I say I felt like, we want to avoid those setbacks. I feel like, it was kind of one of those mixed bags on Tuesday night, getting the wins, but still not feeling like we're playing up to where I really think we should be at this point.
And, a Tuesday, if you do build off of the performance on Saturday and play maybe up to the level you thought you'd gotten to, it would be a good time to do that because tomorrow, Rossville, you got a pretty tough go ahead of you.
Oh, absolutely. The Rossville tournament's tough every year, and it's, this year's no exception. We right out the gate, we got a league rival with Wamego, and they've got, I think, 13 or 14 seniors I saw on their roster, so they've got a lot of girls with experience. And then we bounce right back after that one, and we got a defending state champion in Silver Lake. And then you throw in Tonganoxie and Ottawa, from the east side of the state that we don't normally get to see. And so I feel like, it's a very competitive, it's always a tough tournament, but it's a good test to see where we stand.
Talk a little bit about the Lady Tigers you have on the court, just two seniors in Hannah Ferguson and Janessa Wickersham, and a junior class that's been around varsity sports quite a bit. I think that helps you a lot. Aaron Hamill, Haley Franson and company. And then you've got some sophomores and freshmen that are really being a big part of what's going on the court.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Our two seniors, Hannah comes back and is a big presence in the middle, and she's a returning player that has some experience. We've got Janessa Wickersham, who's been a part of the program back, when I was coaching my first stint, and she was a freshman and sophomore those years, and she's, comes in and is a pretty stable player for us. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and so we really appreciate that. And then, like you said, we got a core of about 3 juniors that between Haley and Aaron and Janae that can provide some excitement and a spark for us. And then our sophomores, we got a group of sophomores that are all pretty even. Some good role players in there that can fill in at spots when we need them to. And then we've even got a couple freshmen moving up, Maddie Craig and Clara Edwards that that are filling in some spots and learning as they go and really making some progress that I'm excited to see.
You mentioned Janae Shivers, and as a setter, a leader on the court, she's one of those players that really gets to a lot of the action on the floor, and I think can get up around the net when she needs to.
She does. She's one of those players that her athletic ability is pretty sneaky. She, as a setter, you don't see sometimes you don't always see the dynamic side of her, but it's pretty interesting when we have some drills in practice where she can get up and hit the ball, and people would be surprised how well she hits the ball too. So,
well, exciting team. I know you're pushing forward in a direction to get ready for the postseason. Hard to bring that up already, but it does go so quickly when we get toward the latter stages of September. That is really the focus for you guys. Best of luck in Rossville, Coach, and as always, we really appreciate you taking time to join us here on Halftime.
Yeah, thank you, too, and I appreciate everything you do for our athletic programs.
Lady Tiger Volleyball, they'll be in Rossville tomorrow. We'll be back in Goodland after this.
Having trouble understanding your internet connection? Just think of it in terms of water. The size of a water hose determines how quickly you get water, and the same goes for your internet. A garden hose pumps out less water than a fire hose, just like a 5 meg connection loads pages slower than a 20 meg. At the end of your hose is a sprinkler, which is equivalent to your router. If your sprinkler is old and clogged, it can only push out so much water, no matter how big of a hose it's connected to. For best results, be sure your router is up to date. For more questions, check out our website at bluevalley.net.
TSI Kansas Incorporated is looking for responsible, trustworthy drivers with Class A CDLs to join our team. Our drivers are dedicated to meeting the deadlines and keeping their promises. That's why TSI Kansas has a solid reputation for reliability. If you're looking for that sense of freedom of being an over-the-road driver with great benefits, call Heather in Recruiting at 785-632-5183 or find us on Facebook.
Back once again, we bring you to Goodland at halftime. The Clay Center Tigers right now leading 7-0, and we talked about the breaks early, and then we found a defense that really stood up and made some things happen. And we're going to give a couple of the awards away we do during the ball game, and since we have some time here at half. And our thanks again to Coach Robert Moran for getting us a halftime opportunity to talk with him tonight. And the Lady Tigers go to Rossville on a very tough tournament they'll be headed to. But let's talk Hunley's Garage Big Hitter Award to start with. Cody Carlson came through the line early in this game and really set a tone because the Tigers have been giving up 5, 6, 10 yards on runs through the middle to the little guy Ensign, and Cody Carlson steps to the middle and not only made the stop, but simply drove him completely backwards.
And it was on 4th down. The Tigers take over the ball there, and it was at a very pivotal point in the game. I think it shifted some attitudes on Cody Carlson's team.
Right.
Like, we're here to play ball. Right. He sent the message. The others received the message. It was at a very critical time in the game. It was a big hit. It was a big play. Well-deserved award for Cody Carlson.
And on the Tigers' end of the field.
Absolutely.
And it looked like, obviously we knew they were going to go for it. But we were kind of surprised Archer handed it off that he did, and Cody Carlson knew who had it. That was a key.
Yeah.
It could have been an easy opportunity to key on Archer, and instead he blasted through and dropped you for a loss.
When you're on defense and you have several of these explosive big play guys like Levi Archer, it's hard to pay attention to somebody else.
Exactly.
And he did what he needed to do. And it was a really big play. And I wrote down about 5 big hitters.
We had a bunch of them
in this first half.
Eric Drake Sack was a big. Gavin Ware was a big stick on the tackle.
But we got to go back to what started it, because nobody was making hits like that until Cody Carlson did.
I would agree, and that is the Hundley's Garage Big Hitter Award for this evening. Again, Tigers up 7-0 here at the halftime break. One more we're going to get to, because I don't think we could get much more electrifying tonight than the Peyton Lane to Connor last pass. The Debenham electrifying play of the game. 3rd down and 10. You're at your own 10-yard line, and Peyton Lane hits Connor last. And then really the the most electrifying part of that whole deal was the run after the catch by Connor last.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you said, we were coming off the 10-yard line. I thought he was going to be stopped at the 50.
No kidding.
I mean, because he had 3 guys.
And it's Dawson Raymer that's tracking him down, and that he left.
Absolutely. So they're at midfield, and he's got guys right on him. And the first thing is Peyton Lane put that throw on a dime.
Oh, man,
He put that pass on a dime. Connor had to catch it. And then all of a sudden he's pulling away from these guys. They got him gathered in at the 6-yard line, but the Tiger offense was able to negotiate that TD drive after that. But that all the way from basically, I don't know where Peyton was when he threw the ball, pretty close to his goal line, Bradley. And, we end up going for the touchdown on the other end.
And Lane got the touchdown on the run, but it was the Debenham electrifying play of the game that set all that up. The Tigers, again, lead at 7-0. We're at the halftime break. Stay with us. We'll come back in a moment, get you set for the second half from Goodland.
Healthcare facilities, especially those in rural America, are facing extraordinary challenges. With the support of those we serve, coupled with growth and financial stability, we are prepared to provide local access to healthcare for many years to come. I'm Lori Penner, President of the Hospital Board. We are grateful for past contributions from the Hospital Foundation and their current efforts. We ask for support from those who are able and gratefully acknowledge those who have pledged to help us raise more than $2 million to equip our new facility.
While some are working the fields, the deli department at Ray's Apple Market is making up batches of potato, pasta, and vegetable sides to go with their delicious Chester fried or smoked chicken. Meals to go for 1, 2, or more are hot, fresh, and ready for hungry farm crews and busy families.
Here at Ray's, it is our passion to give you, our customer, a pleasant, time-saving shopping experience while providing exceptional products at value prices with uncommon customer service. Thank you from our family to yours. Shop small, shop local.
Place your order now for next spring's crops and save a bundle. Count on Crop Production Services of Clay Center for the best quality corn and soybean seed. Their proven brands include DeKalb, Asgrow, Dynagrow, Producers Hybrids, and LG. If you order now, you can take advantage of early cash and volume discounts, and they also have financing available. The agronomists at CPS stay current on the ever-changing field of seed technology, so they can provide well-informed advice to help increase your productivity.
It's that time of year, time to clean up the yard, trim trees, overseed, and fertilize so your yard will rebound from a tough summer and look great next spring. Wall Street Value has rental equipment to help get it done, like dethatchers, core aerators, overseeders, and tillers. Wall Street Value also has grass seed and fertilizer, weed killer, and ground sterilizer to make your yard the best in the neighborhood. Stop in 7 days a week at Wall Street Value in beautiful downtown Clay Center.
Back again at halftime, the Clay Center Tigers with that 7-0 lead. It's an odd. We talked about it early on. You did, Chad. It's an odd statistical line from the first half of play. Tigers lead 7-0. Time of possession dominant by Goodland. Yardage kind of close, 115 to 80. But there's been some odd plays. The bobbled snap that was shot back behind, 3rd and inches behind Archer, recovered by Enzyme. And some sack plays the Tigers have been able to get in the backfield a few times. And so it's an odd look at numbers.
Well, lots of times when a football game presents itself that way, and like the stats and the game being played on the field is not the score, and, it's kind of opposite. It's because of turnovers, and we haven't – I would almost call it a turnover when you have a holding penalty on a punt return for a touchdown. That's like a turnover for a team.
A drop pass near the end zone.
That's like a turnover for a team.
3rd and short, and the snap goes 15 yards backwards.
Right. That's like a turnover for a team.
Yeah.
So they have 0 turnovers, but that is the difference in the game. Those kinds of plays, they're back-breaking plays for Goodland. They're keep us in the game, momentum-building plays for Clifton.
Great point. Tigers will get the football to start this second half as Goodland will who accepted to receive it the first half of play, will be kicking it off. I do have two scores. Mentioned Concordia. They're up 8-6 over Chapman. That's at the half. And Marysville now leads Wamego 16-7. Halftime score, 16-7. Marysville over Wamego. That has gone to halftime. Tigers have three receivers back to return the kick. Jake Ferguson, Dylan Moon, and deep is Caleb Mendham. It's middle of the field. It's going to bounce and be picked up by Dylan Moon. He'll take it across the 20-yard line. 25 now shakes and bakes his way to the outside. Penalty flag is going to be thrown as he's tackled near the 34-yard line. Likely to be a hold of some sort and bring this back 10 yards from that spot.
Yeah, he threw it up there. The spot is about on the 30, and it'll be probably a hold.
Yeah, Moon, a good return that time, was able to pick it up on a hop and then get by the first contact, and then a little shake and bake moves to the outside before he was forced out of bounds, but he would end up with the penalty flag behind him.
You're right, and it was almost a dangerous hop because it almost went over his head. He had to knock it down. I mean, it hit the ground in front of him, but then it about went over his head. He had to knock it down and then catch it, and then ended up with a good return. Penalty on the Tigers, taken over at the 20.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and Cooper Glavin is in at quarterback to begin this series. Levi Fitzenmeyer behind him. Glavin turns right, hands off. Here's the big bull, Fitzenmeyer. He breaks the tackle, now some open field. 1st and 10 yardage for Levi Fitzenmeyer, and the Tigers right back up on the line of scrimmage, set to work, and a good start for the Tigers. The handoff from Glavin, and the big bull runs forward.
A little bit of everything happened on that play. He hit open field in a hurry. He broke tackles. He made a cut, and he almost broke the final tackle.
Wyatt Alexander tight on the left side. Garrett Craig the center. Logan McDonald inside to the left. Johnny C is to the right side along with Holden Heigl. Levi Fitzenmeyer, the lone back behind Cooper Glavin at quarterback. You have Mendham to the wingback left. Handoff again, Fitzenmeyer, and it's going to be a short yardage gain, although he hasn't gone to the 4 yet. He will maybe pick up 2 or 3, just pushing the pile forward.
And he's still not on the ground.
No kidding. Offensive line kind of gathered with him. A little scrum broke out. He gains 2. 2nd down, 8, we'll call it.
On those kinds of plays, you have no idea if it's a 0 gain, a 5-yard gain, a 2-yard loss, but he was able to get a couple of positive yards out of the play.
The dangerous Connor Last now into the game on the left side. Atkinson Inniking tight, but off the line of scrimmage to the right. Dylan Moon and Caleb Mendham, the wingbacks, with Fitzenmeyer behind quarterback Cooper Glavin, who goes in under center. He will pitch it out left side. Mendham cuts against the grain, fires through 2 defenders, stood up and buried, but he makes his way near the first down marker. He'll come up 2 or 3 yards shy, but that is a really tough run by toughest leather.
It was a really good 2nd down. It was a great 2nd down. You know, we were looking at second. Long we were on 2nd and 8. He picked up 6 yards. It's 3rd and 2.
Hard count by Glavin, goes under center, now backs off and looks to the sideline for the call. Good pace for the Tigers offensively to begin this second half. They lead 7-0. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Glavin. He will keep it himself. Falls forward. He pushes a defender backwards, which may have given him enough for the first down. It's very, very close.
I think he's just shy, but I think the Tigers will go for it out here.
4th down from their own 43-yard line. And yeah, Chad, we can see the yardage marker very, very close in front of us, and it is well less than a yard. Quarterback keep. Glavin falls forward. More than enough for the 1st and 10. And the Tigers move the chains on their first possession of this 3rd quarter.
And that's what we needed to do. We're coming out. We're receiving the ball with kickoff and start the second half. And we start right off with that holding penalty, so that moves us back. Now we're able to recover from that, move the chains.
Peyton Lane is on the sideline for those wondering. I hadn't found him yet, and I think he just returned. He is moving good on the sideline, but Cooper Glavin at quarterback. Tight formation for the Tigers. 2 receivers standing, 1 to the left, Last, 1 to the right, Atkinson Inniking. And it's a pitch out left side for Caleb Mendham. Defender in the backfield upends him as he tried to hurdle over him, and he's upended near the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down. Mendham on the left side that time, and the defender went low as he tried to jump high, and he just doubled him over.
And that was Dawson Raymer, who's all over the field no matter what the play is. But he came in hard from safety position, and as you say, went low, upended Caleb Mendham.
8:56 to work. Tigers with the move of the chains on the first possession here have the football with a 7-0 lead early 3rd quarter. In motion goes Moon. Back to pass. Glavin fires out right side, has a receiver, and it is on the money. Caleb Minden with the catch near the 30-yard line. A little floater up over the defender right on the money. The toughest leather. Caleb Minden, and it's 1st and 10 Tigers. How about the pass for the sophomore?
That's what I was going to say. How about that pass from Cooper Glavin? I mean, on the money. We've been watching both of our quarterbacks put the ball on the money and to open receivers downfield.
So Glavin connects with Minden, who did it with his legs last week on the ground, and now tonight with the catch as he flared out to the right side and downfield, and the defender, he got behind him 2 or 3 strides, and Glavin just threw it over the top and dropped it in softly for Caleb Minden, who has 1st and 10 yardage to the Goodland 24-yard line.
We need to get the play off there.
In motion, Minden, they do get it off, handoff, Levi Fitzenmeyer. Now he's got good run through the middle. And as he takes a couple of defenders forward, the Big Bull takes it inside the 15-yard line.
I was getting a little concerned on the play clock, but we never got to the countdown. But the Tigers had a little personnel problem running on him off the field. But after a big play like that, and you're trying to adjust and get moved downfield, it took the Tigers a long time to get set.
But that not only got it off, though, they were able to get good yardage. That is a 9-yard gain. I had a 6 or 7 yard gain, and by the time he pushed those defenders forward, Levi Fitzenmeyer had 9 yards, 2nd down at 1. Football is at the 15 of Goodland. Glavin under center. Handoff, Fitzenmeyer hit, but still falls forward. I would think it's enough for a 1st and 10. We'll see where they mark it.
Going to be pretty close. Some of the Tigers are motioning.
And the sideline official says no, it's 3rd down, still a yard to go. Football stays at the 15-yard line. It's a long way for us to see from here, not a great angle, but it sure looked like he fell forward with the defender. But instead, right at the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 1. How about 5 minutes of possession to begin your 3rd quarter and a good drive and a chance to cap it off?
Very deliberate pace of the Tigers.
Glavin goes in under center. Atkinson inning to the right side. Fitzenmeyer behind him. Play clock is down, and we're very close, so we may take a timeout. And the Tigers, instead of losing 5 yards here on 3rd and short, at the 15 of Goodland, a good timeout. They get the TO, and they'll save that yardage. 6:56 to work, 3rd quarter. Tigers leading 7-0 at driving when we return.
Are you looking for the right bank to complement your busy schedule? Look no further. United Bank and Trust has just what you need. From easy online, mobile, and tablet banking to online loan applications, there is no need to try to find time to reach the bank before closing hours. You can simply apply for that new mortgage or car loan in the comfort of your own home, or check the balances of your accounts while waiting in the line at the grocery store. United Bank and Trust makes banking convenient for you. United Bank and Trust, banking for your way of life. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
So the Tigers, great drive to open up this 3rd quarter, the 2nd half, Chet, but a good timeout, too. You're 3rd and 1 at the 15. You don't want to go back 5 yards because the play clock goes out.
I agree completely. I think it was a great timeout. And I just think they needed to have a talk. Even if they would have gotten the play off, it was a good time to have a team talk.
It's a quarterback keep, and Cooper Glavin is a touch, and now they've got a penalty flag, though, at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if someone moved. It was a touch by the quarterback to his center in the snap and go. Penalty flag is in. Let's see what the call is. The official turns and says procedure against the Tigers. So you get the timeout, you save the yardage, and then you end up with the procedure penalty, and you lose the 5. So it's going to be 3rd and 6 now, back at the 20-yard line. Hard to know from here. I mean, it's a go quick type of call.
Right.
Somebody maybe not set would be my only guess.
I'm thinking that's what the situation was.
6:50 to work here in the 3rd period. Tigers up 7-0. They have it at the Goodland 20. It's now 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Mendham and Moon, your wingbacks. Last and Atkinson Inniking are the receivers. Pitch out left for Caleb Mendham, trying to get to the corner now. Hesitation move. Tries to split 2 defenders, but there's 3 more Goodland Cowboys right in the area. Whistle blowing. Goodland still trying to bring Mendham to the ground. He never touched turf, but he does come up well short on the outside pitch to the left.
Yeah, we brought it wide left. He was trying to make that corner. He had a blocker out there, but he needed to have about 17 blockers out there the way that Goodland covered that.
So the Tigers on 4th down and 6 will go for it. There was no gain on the play. 2 receivers wide right, last slotted right. Atkinson Inniking wide to the right side. Dylan Moon is split to the left. Mindham stays a wingback right with Levi Fitzenmeyer behind Cooper Glavin. Glavin rolling right, wanting to pass. Fires off his back foot, has a receiver. That's Atkinson innicking. Was it enough? It will be very, very close depending on the spot.
It's close.
Very close. The official eyeballing it from the sideline, and it will be...
Bring it on the chain.
They're going to have to measure. It will either be 1st and 10 or Goodland's football here, but it is really, really close.
1st and 10 either way.
Yeah, good point. Easy to call that part of it. Now, who has the football is the next question. They'll stretch the chains, and it is well beyond first down. Tiger football, they convert. Cooper Glavin hitting Ant, and the Tigers save the possession.
And it was good coverage on Ant that time, but he had to catch that ball. He had to go down far enough for the first down, because as soon as you turn and catch that ball, you're drilled.
Football at the 14 now of Goodland. Clock ticking this third period. It's been all Tigers possession. 5:48. This will equal out the time of possession for the game quite a bit.
Somebody needs to shut the car lights.
Yeah, it really is right in our line of sight outside the stadium. Cooper Glavin under center. Turns, hands off. Levi Fitzenmeyer bangs the line of scrimmage. Now he breaks free. Stiff arms a man. Ball comes loose after the tackle. He's inside the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, maybe 6. It'll be second down, and the Tigers march it inside the Goodland 10.
And Levi Fitzmeyer's mad at himself because he's not in the end zone after a great run.
Yeah, he's bumped right side near the line of scrimmage, and he just got rid of that would-be tackler and then drove himself downfield. He had one guy he stiff-armed, and he just got tripped up and couldn't keep his balance.
Yeah, looking at 2nd and 4 now.
And now the officials have finally found the headlights, and that car is now leaving the facility, so that will not be in our eyes anymore. 5:13 to work, third quarter. Tigers up 7-0. It was a 6-yard gain for the big bull, Levi Fitzenmeyer. Brings up second down and 4. What a drive for the Tigers. If they can finish it off, getting to the end zone, even better for Clay Center in this 7-0 lead. And it's going to be a handoff late. Levi Fitzenmeyer, first down, first and goal. He takes it to the 2. Late decision by Cooper Glavin, but the sophomore was able to leave it in the belly of Levi Fitzenmeyer, who had the hole. It was the right read and a big first down.
That was a perfect read, and it was a perfect play, and it was a great run by Levi Fitzmeyer, which we're used to. And what better than to pick up a new set of downs at the 2?
A big dose of the big bull, would you say, right now?
Yeah.
Glavin under center. He will turn. No, he's going to keep it himself. Rolls left side, falls forward. Touchdown, Tigers! Touchdown, Clay Center Tigers. Cooper Glavin takes it in, faking to Levi Fitzenmeyer, bubbled out left, right behind his tackle on the left side. Holden Heigelman takes it in for 6.
And again, he made the right read.
Agreed.
Levi got killed.
Yes, agreed. 4:40 left in the third period. The only possession thus far of the Tigers. They eat up almost 8 minutes of clock, 7.5 minutes of clock, and they lead at 13-0. Made to order for Clay Center. Connor Last will be on for the extra point try. Snap is there. The hold is down. The kick is good. And the Tigers now lead it 14-0 here in the third period. 4:40 left to work. Stay with us. You're listening to Tiger Football on KCLY.
Punch up your internet for a knockout school year. The start of the school year is a great time to upgrade your home's internet plan with Twin Valley. After all, the whole family puts heavyweight demands on your connection with multiple devices, streaming, and more. Get up to a gig download speed now for only $99.95 a month. To clinch it, they'll throw in free installation. No phone line required. Quit fighting the slow speeds. Call Twin Valley at 800-515-3311.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia reminds you that brutal winter days will soon be here. You're almost out of time to have your roof replaced before the cold weather season arrives. Roof work must be completed with daytime temperatures of at least 45 degrees in order to avoid long-term problems with adhesiveness. Learn more at GeislerRoofing.com.
This is Dallas Hasselmack, and Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement has you covered with more than 38 years experience.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement. We've got you covered.
Along with our studio engineer, Bernie Fancella, we have Chet Carlson with us, of course. 23 years in the booth, and that was one of the better drives we've seen, I think, over the years.
Oh, absolutely. It was textbook. You know, there's not a coach in football that wouldn't love that drive. Just you're controlling the ball, the clock, and everything.
Kickoff from Levi Fitzenmeyer to the goal line. Dawson Raymer, though, ends on the return right up the middle. And he is tripped under the 25-yard line, scooped out near the 30, and that's where Goodland will take over this possession. So the Tiger offense does its job. You come out, you go 80 yards, 13 plays, 7 minutes, 20 seconds of possession, and get the touchdown. You lead by 2 scores.
Well, and a little something else has taken place there that we didn't even talk about. You get used to a rhythm with a certain quarterback on defense. We come out with a different quarterback, a little different look, a little different rhythm, the same offense, but it's always different when you're a defensive player and you just spend a half team on a different guy.
Goodland takes over from their own 30-yard line. Levi Archer wants to pass, fires across the middle. It is just over the outstretched arms of Wyatt Alexander. The catch is going to be made downfield, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 for Goodland. The catch that time, Lucas Wood, and he takes it near the 50-yard line. There is a flag down on the play in the backfield, and they are going to bring, I think from the reaction of Lucas Wood, this is against Goodland, and it is, and this will deny what would be 1st and 10 at the midfield stripe for Goodland. Instead, they'll move backwards because of the penalty in the backfield. I'm going to give you another follow-up on your point of Cooper Glavin, Chet.
Yeah.
And Goodland's defense having to adapt to a different style.
Right.
How about your Tiger offense not skipping a beat with a little different style and tempo, if you will?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and they look great. They got more confidence just as they went. You could see them grow in confidence, just like you watched the defense grow in confidence on a couple of possessions there. So, you know, it's a big time for the D now. After the big penalty.
Ball moved back 5 yards, so instead of at the 50-yard line, it's 1st and 15. Archer's going to keep it himself, hit in the backfield. First contact, Holden Heigl. Gavin Ware comes in to help speed it up, along with Gavin Siebold and more, and it will be a short yardage carry, 2nd down 13. Just under 4 to work in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers ate up a bunch of clock, a bunch of yards, and the score on top of it. And, you know, throw into the mix, Connor Last is 2 for 2 in extra points in this game, too.
I know.
They're all big.
I know. We're always at the worst angle, you know, because when I think he makes them, he doesn't. And tonight I thought he missed them both, and he made them both.
Levi Archer at quarterback for Goodland. Tigers lead at 14-0, wanting to pass, rolling right. Has time, now being pressured to the sideline. Pass is caught, catch is made. Tackle also there, Wyatt Alexander. Lucas Wood made the catch right on the sideline. It brings up 3rd down and 5.
Well, the best tackle that play was on Holden Heigl. He not only was held, he was tackled
by 2 guys.
Yeah, and I turned to look to see if the official was going to throw the flag, and he had his back to him because he was watching the receiver come out.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for Goodland from their own 33-yard line. Tiger defense. See if we can make a stop again. Archer to pass. Pressure coming from Garrett Craig. He's got him in his grasp, and he forces the throw to go short. Garrett Craig almost had his 2nd sack of the game. There is a penalty flag back near where the ball was thrown from. Garrett Craig had him wrapped up and almost down when Archer was able to just get rid of it. They're going to wave the flag off, so no flag on the play. Big-time play by Garrett Craig. Hollywood gets in the backfield again on Archer, and now it brings up 4th down and 6.
And he did last week, and he has twice at least this week.
Right. We have not seen Peyton Lane play in the second half. Even on defense, Cooper Glavin stayed in, but it looks like he's put his cap back on and maybe going back in this next series. Tigers are back to receive Connor Last and Caleb Mindham. The punt is away, and there's going to be a flag on the Tigers. Gavin Ware was trying to pressure the kicker, got back there, and then contact was made, and this will be a break against the Tigers we've seen go against Goodland all game long, really.
And Gavin was pulling off, but he didn't miss contact.
Right. It's hard. Your momentum's going. You're trying to get there, and then all of a sudden you have to pull up, and when you do so, you end up making contact. And that is going to be a penalty on the Tigers, a costly one. It will most likely, depending on the call.
Well, instead of having the ball,
they're trying to decide where the line of scrimmage is at. And it is going to be 4th down still. It was a running into variety 5-yard penalty,
which I think is the right call.
I would agree. As we said, he was pulling up, trying to not run into or not go at him, but he did end up running into him.
My fear is they almost never call that variety.
I agree.
But it's still fourth down, but it's a fourth down and go for it opportunity for Goodland.
Even Goodland's inside their own end of the field, their own 39. You get the feeling they might go for it. Now they're going to line up to punt this, Chet. I'm surprised.
I don't believe them.
So see if they snap it, and if they do punt it. The snap is to the punter, and they are going to boot this thing. So, oh, man, and a terrible kick. It is going to bounce it around the 40 and then stick right there at the 35-yard line. Another penalty flag is down.
We've seen a lot more laundry on the field in this third quarter than we did in the entire first half.
I agree. They're saying maybe too many men. The reason we think that is they're counting numbers of jerseys, although now they've already started substituting it, so I'm not sure that's going to give them an official count. And it is against Goodland again. And Coach Todd Rice says, we'll just take the field position at 35.
Yeah, I mean, because one of these guys, or one of these times, he's going to actually punt like he punts.
Chet was bragging on him from the start, and he's not had a good one in the game. Now, the Tigers have been near him, so it obviously makes a difference.
But almost everyone's been a high shank.
It has been, yeah. That one kind of stuck, sat down right at the 35, and the Tigers have good field position. They lead it 14-0 here in the third quarter, right at the 3-minute mark. Peyton Lane is back in at quarterback. Gavin Siebold back in at the wingback, along with Caleb Mindem. Levi Fitzenmeyer, the fullback behind Peyton.
It was kind of a 3-and-out through about 7 plays.
That's a good way to put it. Lane, handoff right side, Fitzenmeyer, and he's starting to get a little rhythm going. Out near the 40-yard line goes Fitzenmeyer. It'll be second down for the Tigers. Second down and maybe just over 5 yards to go.
Good to see. Good to see that number 21 here in this second half taking care of business. You know, after we set up a different type of offense in the first half that Goodland had to adjust to.
And your offensive line continuing to give time for those plays to happen, and then let the big bull take care of the rest once he gets a little space to run from. Peyton Lane under center. He will keep it himself, runs it right, hitting the backfield, and drops for a loss. It'll bring up third down and long. The Tigers will be at their own 37-yard line, a loss of maybe 3. Like he was looking for that option opportunity, but once he started down the line, that line was closed off, and he just had to tuck it and get what he could.
That's right. It closed in a hurry on him.
2 minutes remains, third period. Tigers up 14-0. Now third down, 8 yards to go. Atkinson Inniking is off to the left side. Connor Last to the right. Lane, little reverse move from Mindem, and a defender right there in his face. He stiff arms one guy, gets by him, but he'll be dropped deep in the backfield, and it will bring up fourth down and long, and the Tigers will be forced to punt it.
Caleb Mindem got hit as hard on that play as you ever get hit in football. I mean, he got nailed on that play after running for his life and being strung out.
Exposed ribs,
yeah,
the finish of that play you're talking about, and he popped right back up and stays on the field. But it will be Connor Last now back inside his own 20 to punt it away. Minute 16 to work in this third quarter. The Tigers on top by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Last, the snap is there, and the kick is away, and he bombs one. Turns it over. Raymer cannot catch it. It's going to roll back inside the 10, picked up there. Now the return. Jake Ferguson turns him out to the defense, and now we've got penalty flags all over the place. This will go against the Goodland Cowboys. What a boom from Connor Last, huh?
Yeah, Connor Last started that play by launching that football with his foot way over the return man. Raymer pulls it in on a hop, running the wrong direction, and he reverses field. And then there were at least 2 holds out there and maybe a block in the back. I don't know what was called.
I think it's a personal foul, Chet, and a defenseless player.
Okay.
Somebody behind the play got cleaned up, and they don't allow that anymore.
These 2 officials on this side threw their flags as far as they could throw them.
I think it was Gavin Ware that got rocked. He was working left and then coming back to the football, but well behind it, and had no idea that a blocker was coming his way, and kind of that crack-back block, if you will. But
right.
That is an illegal play. They're really focusing on that. Started last year, but even more so this year. They made that a point of emphasis.
Well, these these two officials from this side apparently went to the meeting.
Yeah, they flung the flags a good 20 yards toward that area. So the Tiger defense with an opportunity. Here's a handoff underneath Ensign, and he is caught near the line of scrimmage. Gavin Siebold finished it. I want to get a number on who had the first hit. That is Gavin Ware. He makes a big-time stick in the backfield, and then Siebold finishes it off.
Well, when you draw to a pair of Gavins there, you're in big trouble, because they both hit him hard. Siebold with the finish.
2nd down, 8. It was a gain of 2. Goodland at their own 20. 30 seconds to work here in the third. The Tigers lead at 14-0. Archer stands from that gun. Spread formation. Fires across the seam left side. Tackle made by Jake Ferguson, but it's first down yardage to his favorite receiver, Dawson Raymer. Looked like he was coming across the middle, but he really hit that little seam, I guess a skinny post that time, and Raymer made the catch, and Jake Ferguson makes the tackle.
Well, and once again, these guys have played a long time. They have the poise to stand in there, and they know they can come up with a big play. That time they moved the chains.
They moved quick with 15 to work, back on the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10. And again, Archer wanting to pass it. Fires out right side, has a receiver. It is going to be caught. Evan Peter, Caleb Mendham drives him out of bounds, but now with 2.8 seconds remaining here in this third quarter, the Goodland Cowboys have taken it quickly to the Tiger 32-yard line.
And that was as good a throw as you will see at any level of football. Any level of football. That was a long throw across the field, deep on the money.
To the outside shoulder of his receiver. Yeah, it was.
Outside shoulder.
Caleb Mendham getting him out of bounds, but Evan Peter open, and Levi Archer put it on the money. 1st and 10, now it's the Tiger 32. Archer rolls left, stands in the pocket, pressure coming. He rolls further left and has to throw it away to nobody home, and that could be intentional grounding. It should be, anyway.
It is.
It's the final play of the quarter. Let's get the call. Now, the officials are going to make sure.
There's another flag.
You're right, downfield a flag. And now they will conference and find out what the call is. Archer just got rid of it. He had Garrett Craig and Gavin Ware breathing down his neck, and he flung it out to no man's land. So they're going to wave both flags, it looks like.
Yep.
And that will end the quarter. We're headed to the fourth. The Tigers with a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 in Goodland. You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
Clay Center Tiger Football on KCLY is brought to you in part by Oldie Seed Farms, Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy, and Radio Shack. Citizens National Bank of Clay Center, Greenlee, Concordia, and Belleville. By CS Precision Ag. Ray's Apple Market. Geyser Roofing and Home Improvement. Blue Valley Telecommunications. United Bank and Trust. State Farm Insurance, Dave Borger, the agent. By Clay County Medical Center and Robbins Motors, Manhattan.
When you grow corn or soybeans for a living, you're always looking for the latest advances to help your fields be more profitable. That's why it's time to turn to Channel. When you plant elite Channel seed products, you also get the services of your very own Channel seedsman. You see, your seedman works with you year-round to make the most of your operation.
For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact Colton with Frontier Ag Supply, 785-630-0596.
Clay Center Tigers up 14-0. We're headed into the fourth quarter now, Chet. Goodland driving, yes, but the Tigers with a 2-touchdown lead dominated most of that third period.
Oh, we really did. First we controlled the clock for almost the first 8 minutes of that, ended up with a touchdown, and then we've had a few big stops on defense. This time Goodland got a little bit of something going, but the Tigers have been bending, but so far not breaking yet.
Tiger defense back on the field. Have not had further updates on the NCKL scoring. When I do, Andover Central does lead Abilene to halftime 27-14 at the halftime score. Here it's the Goodland Cowboys at the Tiger 31, 2nd down 10. Archer is going to hand it off. Ensign tracked down from behind, and the beast is in beast mode. Gavin Ware tracks down Ensign and drops him for a loss.
Gavin Ware is in on almost every play lately. No, it doesn't matter what the play is, all over the field. And it's kind of ever since that punt penalty.
They woke him up, didn't they? Don't poke the beast. That's the lesson learned there, right?
Yeah.
It is now 3rd down and 12. That was a loss of 4 on the play as Gavin Ware, Ensign, thought he had an outside beat, and Ware came from the opposite side of the field and tracked him down and dropped him to the floor. So 3rd down 12. Archer back to pass. Stands in the pocket. Pressure coming. Fires downfield. Pass is going to be caught by Dawson Raymer, and he gets by a defender and all the way inside the 10-yard line. It looked like the Tigers, Caleb Mendham was thinking of jumping that route. He got out in front, and then Raymer tiptoed the sideline. Made a heck of a play for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Coach Todd Rice was out campaigning hard for a holding penalty on that play as well. We had a Tiger defensive lineman literally get tackled and rolled on the
Garrett Craig once again, near Archer in the backfield. So it is 1st down and goal. It's at the Tigers' 7-yard line. Archer going to pass it. Fires out toward the end zone. Great play by Connor Flass, who breaks up the play, diving to get a handout in front of the receiver and bat down what would have been a touchdown.
We had a perfect angle from behind here, and it looked like that was going to be a complete pass, but he was able to get the arm across in front and knock it down.
And the left arm in front of the receiver on his right side. I mean, he just did a textbook. 10:52 to work. Clock stops with the incompletion. Tigers leading 14-0. 2nd down goal. Football at the 7-yard line of Clay Center. Garrett Craig digging in the middle once again. Gavin Siebold. Gavin Ware. Holden Heigl. Archer runs right side, and Gavin Ware again. Garrett Craig in to help out. But Gavin Ware right now, the beast is on fire defensively.
Oh, he absolutely is. And he makes a quick tackle, and he just goes back ready to go. I mean, he's in a zone right now.
Saw the hick from the sticks was here earlier watching. He'd be proud of that little brother.
I thought so.
14-0 ball game. 10:26 to work. Tigers trying to hold here, leading 14-0. Football at the Tigers' 7th 3rd down goal. Likely 2-down territory, obviously, with the score, 2 touchdowns. Archer being pressured again by Garrett Craig. Now he turns it upfield and runs it. He is bumped, bounces off a tackle, and then is rocked out of bounds. It will be 4th down and goal. Atkinson Enneking slowed him down, and then Peyton Lane, Holden Heigl, and company come moving in and able to make the play. Lane slow to get up right now on the sideline. He is in pain. There was a huge collision near the sideline, and Peyton Lane right now very slow to get up. In fact, Coach J.D. Lane, dad, out to talk with him before we move forward. So let's take a timeout, 9:49 to work, 14-0. Tigers on top when we come back.
Between prying the kids out of bed and bribing your 6-year-old to brush her teeth, you could say the morning routine can be a bit chaotic. But with Michelin tires, you can enjoy a little peace of mind on the way to school. And from August 23rd to September 17th, you can get a $70 reward card after submission with the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires.
Stop by Bud's Tire Service, 410 Court, or call 632-2135. And good luck, Tigers.
See MichelinMan.com/promo for details. Offer expires 9/17/17. Void where prohibited.
Come to Robbins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Fiat for their summer clearance event going on now. Test drive a new 2017 Ram truck, the longest lasting truck in America, now priced to move with deep summer discounts in 0% for 72 months. Now is the time to buy. See the complete inventory online at robbinsmotors.com or stop by and see them on West Anderson in Manhattan. Robbins Motor Company is a proud supporter of Tiger football.
9:49 remaining. Peyton Lane was able to get up and come off under his own accord, but he is in a lot of pain on the sideline, so he's out. Cooper Glavin in at safety. It is 4th down and goal. The football now at the Clay Center Tigers 3-yard line. Let's see if the big Tiger defensive line that has been in the backfield a bunch can make a play here on 4th and goal from their own 3. Leading 14-0, the Tigers with that lead. Archer chased out of the pocket, fires, and he is overthrowing his receiver. A penalty flag at the goal line. Oh, my goodness. I think they're going to get Connor last. He and Raymer ended up diving back toward the football, which was uncatchable because Archer was almost down in the backfield with Garrett Craig and Gavin Ware once again right on him. If they call a hold against the Tiger defensive backfield, this will set up a new set of downs and 1st and goal. Wow.
Yeah, and as you said, the catchability of that pass doesn't get to come into play here, right. But nobody could have caught that pass, no matter what happened.
Archer had to get rid of it and did. Raymer was running to his right, stuck his right toe in the turf and then tried to dive backwards. Connor last did the exact same thing. There was no contact.
Yeah, he threw behind me.
Wow. Tough play for the Tigers. Now first and goal at the Clay Center 2-yard line. 9:36 remains in this game. Clay Center up 14-0. Handoff Ensign hit in the backfield, but he gets by one tackler. Now down near the goal line, there is a scramble. The Tigers think they've come up with a football. They have not signaled, and it is a touchback, and the Tigers will stop. And it is match point Holden Heigl who comes up with the football. And the Tigers have taken it over, recovering in the end zone. The ball popped loose before they break the goal line, and Holden, match point Heigl, comes up with it, and the Tigers have it back.
Everybody's waiting to see who's that last guy to get up. Big number 67.
Big number 67 just gave a forearm shiver to Gavin Ware in celebration as they get ready to go to the line of scrimmage offensively now. Still with a 14-0 lead. And Peyton Lane is back in there at quarterback. Great to see him on the field after he came up so slowly in that last defensive possession. Lane, he will keep it himself, runs it up the middle, and he's got some room, dives forward out near the 30-yard line, a gain of 8 or 9. Peyton Lane shifted 4 different times before he moved forward, it looked like, and then he left him.
And 2 plays ago, he was the injury timeout, but I'm sure it was cramps.
And it looks like he's dealing with it right now again. And Gavin Ware's doing it all right now. The beast on defense, and now he's helping Peyton Lane with the cramp in that left calf. Now Lane's going to stay in. 9 minutes to work. Tigers lead it 14-0 here at Goodland and have the football back after a goal line stand, a questionable holding call in the defensive backfield. Now it's Levi Fitzenmeyer up the middle. Did he get the first down? Now Goodland's come up with the ball, and there's no whistle. Levi Fitzenmeyer sitting on the floor saying, what is going on here? The officials have not blown a whistle. Goodland picks up a ball on the ground. They run it the other way, and the officials are they have not really made a call. The football, wow, Levi Fitzenmeyer's sitting on the grass going with his palms in the air going, what is going on here? So Goodland comes up with the football. Fortunately for Clay Center, someone went ahead and stayed in the play and made a tackle downfield and stopped the touchdown, but now Goodland's right back near the goal line again.
Big number 76, I think it was for Goodland, was rumbling down the field, and I didn't even see him pick up the ball.
Wow. What a turn of events. Goodland now first and goal at the Tiger 4-yard line. Archer from that gun, the normal position. He's at Ensign by him. He wants to run it, takes it left side, and he gets to the corner and is able to get in before the pylon, and it's 14-6. The Tiger lead is cut to 1 score. That is a crazy turn of events. The Tigers force the fumble on the goal line, get the touchback, Holden Heigl recovers, and now a fumble when we thought the play was over, but there was not a whistle, evidently, and Goodland gets it back.
And we have been talking about all these almost spotlight type plays of the game so far, and we just added another one with the touchback in the end zone. Now this trumps that.
Wow. Now Dawson Raymer is on for the extra point try. Snap is there. The hold is down. The kick is on its way, and it is no good. It hits the cross or the upright and goes away and no good. So the Tigers have an 8-point lead. 8:34 still remain. Ball game in Goodland. Stay with us. Tiger football continues next.
Take action now for a successful crop next year. At Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed and Feed, we're ready to help you plan for next season's weed control, moisture conservation, and fertilizer needs. For your plan, we'll utilize soil testing and variable seeding rates to come up with site-specific fertilizer and seed systems. Now is a good time to establish your fertilizer and chemical program for productive crops in 2018. Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed and Feed. We offer customized solutions to help your crops thrive.
Hi, this is Maribeth Connor. Holiday gift giving can cause a big strain on your wallet. The Citizens National Bank has a whole new way to jumpstart on budgeting for next Christmas or any other special occasion that is in your future. The Citizens National Bank introduces its Reloadable Card. You tell us how much you want to save, and we'll set up regular transfers from your checking account to the Reloadable Card. It's that simple. Learn more about the reloadable card at the Citizens National Bank, downtown Clay Center, member FDIC.
Tigers lead 14-6 now here. 8:34 to go third quarter. Couple to score. One score to pass along. Concordia 20-14 over Chapman. 10:36 left to play in that game. Tigers lined up right now in anticipation, potential onside, and after last week, certainly something they've got to keep an eye on, but it will be a full kickoff by the Goodland Cowboys, taken by Caleb Minda back at the 5-yard line. A return back to the middle and drags 3 defenders forward near the 30-yard line. Also a score in Riley County Falcons facing Rossville tonight, remember, and they lead late third quarter 30-0. Riley County over Rossville, looking to go to 3-0 on the season. 14-6 here, Tigers with the lead, and now the football back. They'll start from their own 29-yard line. 8:26 remaining in this ball game, and Peyton Lane back in at quarterback.
Well, if there's a type of thing that can happen in a football game, it has either happened in this game so far tonight, or it's still remaining to happen.
It's some wacky stuff, hasn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
Peyton Lane under center. He'll spin right, handoff underneath. Levi Fitzenmeyer, and he barrels his way forward. First down yardage, the big bull says they won't get the football back this time, and he takes it for first and 10.
Yeah, I mean, we were so busy trying to see if he got the first down.
Right.
And we thought the play was dead, and so did everybody but a couple other players on the field.
There's no doubt about it. And the officials almost looked at each other like, did somebody blow a whistle? Nobody did. So then they went on with the play. And I'm sure they did. Peyton Lane under center with 8:07 now to work. Tigers up 14-6. First down and 10 after the Fitzenmeyer run. Now Lane's going to keep it, and he barrels his way forward out to the 48-yard line at the gain of 6 or 7 on the first down carry. Second down, we'll call it 4 to go.
He got a lot more on that play than he should have.
Right. Yeah, there was contact early.
Oh, man.
Second down, 4 to go. 7:45 remains here in this fourth quarter. The Tigers lead it 14-6.
Tigers going back to a little bit of a deliberate pace on offense.
Looking to the sideline where the clock is on, and then they'll not go under center until inside 10 seconds on that play clock. Peyton Lane hit as he really receives the snap. Lane saying, Peyton, look over the sideline. How did they get through before I could catch the snap from my center? They were in there early.
That was that same number 76 that rumbled the ball down towards the other end of the field. He was back there in a hurry.
Jack Warner, big fella, able to get through. Now it's third down and 7 to go at the 7-minute mark in the fourth. Tigers up by 8. Lane, hard count, now pulls away from it. They go back into formation. Bend had started in motion. Now comes back to the right side. Last, tight right. Atkinson Inniking, tight left. Third down 7. Peyton Lane, pitch out left for Minda. And there's 2 defenders in the area, but he's able to turn the corner. He is drugged down from behind. He gets near the 50-yard line, picks up the lost yardage, but it does bring up fourth down and 3 with 6:37 left in this game, and the Tigers with the football at their own 49-yard line.
Caleb needed another half a step, and he beats number 95 around the corner. 95 strung it out all the way, used the sideline as another defender, so now we're looking at like 4th and 5.
He got more than I expected out of that. Tigers line up to go for it on 4th down and 5, 6:37 remaining. Let's see if they're trying to draw them off sides or if they're going to try to run a play here. Lane, hard count, now steps back out under center. 4th down, a long 5 to go from their own 47, actually, where that mark is at.
We're in the count.
And so they're going to take the penalty yardage and then let Connor Last boom another punt.
Yep.
Let the clock wind down to 6:37 remaining. And so that will move them back 5 yards, which does not hurt the punt, especially if he puts the foot into it like he did the last time.
Yeah, the Tigers had just a little too far to go for it on 4th down there. 5 yards to go, and we're at midfield. You don't want to hand the ball over to Goodland at midfield, but you also don't want to punt from midfield.
Yeah, really. They had a good play. You get a hard count. Goodland was smart enough to realize, and now the Tigers will bring that punt unit out, and Connor Last will stand at his own 30-yard line to receive the snap. Important special team moments right now. It's on the money. The punt, again, is banged downfield, a little wobbly this time. It's going to be received and a tackle immediately by Atkinson Inniking. He waited. Raymer made the catch. Ant went in, finished it off. Goodland will take over at their own 25.
That's about as quick as you legally can hit somebody.
I agree.
I mean, it's as quick as you can legally make contact with somebody.
You know, one of the keys, Ant's so long, he can stand enough away and make that dive in and make the wrap-up. But, yeah, you wouldn't want to push the envelope any further than that.
Half a second sooner, and it's a penalty.
Right.
First, half a second later, and the guy's gone.
I agree, because Raymer can move. We know that. Goodland sends two receivers stacked wide left, wide side of the field. Archer stands alone in the backfield. He'll run left, design run. No, it's an option play, and it's thrown behind. Ball is loose. It's picked up by Atkinson Enneking. Anthony Atkinson Enneking gives the Tigers the football back with 6:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And Chet, he did two things. Ant made the hit that dislodged the football further and then recovered the football on top of it.
Absolutely. He did both of those key things. Before that, he didn't come all the way out on the stack. He stayed there at mid-coverage because he could see all the momentum was going to come. He had to make the play.
Right. Big-time play by Ant, and the Tigers have it back now with a short field and a 14-6 lead. 1st and 10 at the Goodland 18-yard line. The pitch was bobbled, but Atkinson Enneking made sure it was dislodged with the big hits and then was able to go back, find the football, and recover it on the sideline for the Tigers. Lane under center. Tigers up 14-6. Ball bobbled. Pitsenmeyer able to scoop it back up in midair and hang on to it. It'll be no gain, but it's 2nd down and 10, and still Clay Center's possession right now. That handoff was to Levi, and it just bobbled up in the air in front of him, and he just gathered it back in and made sure he had the football. Didn't worry about extra yards downfield.
No, he was just trying to keep possession of the ball, and he was a little slow to get up there.
Yeah, he was. He did lose a yard, 2nd down 11. Moon, a wing back right. Mendham, wing to the left. Pitsenmeyer behind Peyton Lane. 2nd down, 11 to go. And he will pitch it out left for Dylan Moon. Works off a tackler to the outside. Caleb Mendham was blocking, and Dylan Moon just a shoestring away from breaking outside and having some room to run. He'll be dropped for maybe no gain. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Man, if only, right? That was so close. That was so close to being big. The Tigers made a big stop in a way by taking over the ball on this turnover.
Right.
I was expecting Goodland to have a turnover in the fourth quarter. I should have said it on the air before it happened. But just the way they've been handling things.
They had two, yeah. The one at the goal line earlier.
Yep.
And now this one. Tigers face a 3rd and long. Again, leading 14-6. Back to pass lane. Pressure coming. He throws right corner end zone. Anthony Atkinson Enneking. The pass from big play lane to Ant. Touchdown Tigers. Touchdown. Clay Center Tigers. What a throw and what a play by number 16 on the other end of that deal.
When Peyton launched that thing, I thought he overthrew him 20 yards. And then it couldn't have been in a better spot. Ant had to get the ball. If he's not the size and athleticism he is, nobody gets that ball. And he catches it on the pylon.
And keeping his feet in bounds, tiptoeing the whole way. I mean, he did everything right on that play. Oh, big time for the Clay Center Tigers. Now the extra point try from Connor Last. 3rd down and long, and Peyton Lane with pressure coming heat from behind. He was able to get rid of that and on the money. And Atkinson Enneking did the rest. Here's the extra point try from Last. High snap, but Cooper Glavin gets it down, and Last bangs it through. 21-6. The Tigers have the lead as we head toward the final stages of your fourth quarter. 4:51 remaining. We'll take a 30-second Tiger timeout.
Great taste, fresh ingredients, lots of menu choices, all made to order with fast and friendly service. It all adds up to Subway, the one place where you can build your own meal exactly the way you like it. Subway in Clay Center is proud to sponsor CCCHS athletes, and whether you're heading to the game or getting ready to hit the road for home, the crew at Subway looks forward to seeing and serving you. Tiger fans and Subway, a winning combination.
21-6 ball game. I do want to give you a couple of score updates very quickly. Wamego scores opening fourth quarter, trailing Marysville now 30-13. Abilene down 27-14 to Andover Central, and Riley County rolling 45-0 after 3 quarters.
Oh, wow.
We do have a couple of awards, and we just had about 4 in a row pop up on the radar in that last series, and we had quite a few before. I tell you what, the throw from Payne Lane was super.
Yep.
The play on the other end by Atkinson, Enneking trumped Eddie. Amazing.
That's not a catch you get to see very often in high school
On
football.
Friday nights, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean, it truly is. If you just don't see that every Friday night, maybe we will. I hope we will.
No kidding.
But we keep writing down, okay, the next play, that's the catch of the game. But
Caleb Mendham had it for a while, but we got to give.
Connor had it.
And Connor had it, yeah.
But then Caleb had it, but this one goes to Anthony.
Here's Levi Fitzenmeyer's kick, angling toward the left side, taken back inside the 10. It is Raymer with the return through the middle, still on his feet, down to the 30, maybe the 33-yard line. So the catch of the game, Catalyst Sign & Graphics catch of the game is going to Anthony Atkinson, Enneking. Tremendous catch. Great throw. Tremendous catch. And I think Michael Brownell would have chosen that one as well, don't you?
Yeah.
The Catalyst Sign & Graphics catch of the game.
That one, we'll be watching it on SportsCenter today.
First down and 10 for Goodland, with the Tigers now up 21-6, 4:42 remaining here in this ball game. Archer has 2 receivers to both sides. Back to pass, stands in the pocket, a lot of time, fires out flat left. That's Raymer. He'll run it to the sidelines. First down and out of bounds to stop the clock. Tigers, of course, soft coverage right now. Nothing quick you want to give up. Make him take some time going downfield.
Yeah, we're going to leave that guy. We're going to give him about 8 yards over there on the short out.
And that is what they did, and he made a good job to get out of bounds.
Trouble is, you got to put the stop on that guy after he catches the ball.
Yeah, he's dangerous once he has it in his hands. First and 10. Football is at Goodland's own 44. Archer, sideline again, and good stick, but a great catch by Raymer. It is Caleb Mendham who was there as the catch was being made. He stuck him and drove him out of bounds. It does stop the clock at 4.5 minutes. Now second down, 4 to go after a 6-yard gain. Tigers haven't come after Archer through the middle yet in this series. They've gotten to him, though, throughout this evening. Archer again to pass. Fires, fakes it. Now he runs it, and he's going to be tackled. Derek Craig, no, he does get by him. That was actually Gavin Ware who made the first stick. And then Archer short of first down yardage, third down short, third down 2. It is into the Tiger end of the field, they're 48. Clock ticking, though, as they stayed in bounds.
He didn't stay back in passing position very long. He made the decision to run quite quick. Tigers did a good job of keeping him from getting the first down.
Third down 2. Again, that's the Tiger 48-yard line. Under 4 to work in this game. Tigers leading 21-6. Archer, 1 right, 2 left, his receivers. It's a designed run to the left side. He's hit in the backfield, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield. Dylan Moon got the ankle, wrapped up, and held on for dear life. It's 4th down. Big-time play with the junior inside.
Dylan cut through there. He was in great position. He cut through. He got a hold of him. He did not let go. He was about half Archer's size, but he did not let go. Pretty soon he had Derek Craig and a few others coming in.
4th down, 2 yards still to go. No gain on the play. 3:18 left in this ball game. The Tigers up 21-6. 2 receivers stacked right. Short side of the field has Raymer, dangerous receiver. Archer, he will hand off Ensign. First down yardage, and he's picked up and brought down by Gavin Ware and then destroyed by 2 more Tiger defenders coming in on the play. It will be a 1st and 10, but Ensign paid for those yards.
Oh, man, I don't know who got that hit at the end. I didn't see either, but it was a blast.
Connor last, maybe. I seemed to see him get up off the pile, but Gavin Ware had him, and then somebody else came in and just roped the deal. 2:57 remaining. Goodland moving. Now at the Tiger 40-yard line, but time is down inside that 3-minute mark. Eric Craig, good pressure. Throw downfield. Raymer near the pylon. Diving, can't get it. Overthrown. Archer had to throw that a little earlier than he wanted to because Garrett Craig was breathing down on him. Raymer, great effort near the goal line, but it's incomplete, and it brings up second down and 10.
We've been calling a lot of names tonight, but number 54, Garrett Craig, has been in that backfield somewhere near Levi Archer all night long.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's gotten him a couple of times.
Yeah.
It is second down and 10. 2:45 remains. in this fourth quarter with the Tigers on top 21-6. 2:45 clock stopped with the incomplete pass. Second down 10. Two receivers now stacked to both sides. Archer, and there is going to be a big-time penalty against Ensign. I didn't even watch the play downfield because he put a face mask grab against the Tiger defender, Holden Heigl, who is still slow to get up. Ensign turned with palms in the air like, what are you doing? And we could see it from up here. He nearly took his head off with the grab of the face mask. This is going to go back 15 yards.
Yeah, that was right in front of the white hat, too.
Yes, yeah. And flags came from two different angles on the penalty. Heigl to the sideline is going to just make sure he's got his wits about him because he was taken down hard by the face mask by an offensive blocker, quote-unquote blocker.
Right.
Five Creek Automotive spotlight play of the game. Chet, I think we have to go. We just gave Anthony the reception, but I got to go with him dislodging the football in the option and then recovering the fumble himself. And on that play, the Tigers needed the football back, and that was the play that made it happen.
There's been a few of them tonight, and every one I thought was the turning moment of the night. And it probably was at that moment in time, but the most important moment in time was when he did that on defense.
Now Archer in trouble. Yeah. Flash. Now there's going to be another holding call. And now rolling right, firing late downfield. It is up for grabs. It bounces. It is caught by Evan Peter. He gets down near the goal line, and all that happens, and it's going to come back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because that wasn't a hold. That was an offensive lineman tackle.
It was. By the jersey, you could see the white jersey of the Tigers being pulled backwards, and so exciting play by Evan Peter downfield for the Goodland Cowboys, but obviously this is coming back.
But then again, we mentioned this last week too, the offensive lineman's in an impossible situation sometimes because do not hold, but do not let anybody get that quarterback.
Good to see Cody Carlson, who hadn't played there for a while, back in. He was the one that was tackled in the backfield, by the way, because he was getting to the quarterback, Levi Archer. And so this will move them 10 yards from that spot, which was pretty deep in the backfield. And with 2:16 to work, the Tigers getting closer and closer to securing their second straight win in their first road game of the season. So the Five Creek Automotive spotlight play of the game, there has been a bunch we've talked about.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, the option play was dangerous because Ensign, we saw what he's able to do in the open field, and Atkinson Inniking was able to dislodge it, disrupt the play, and then end up recovering the fumble himself.
Now, this really isn't relevant to the game. This could be the stat of the game.
I agree.
We went from 2nd and 25 to now it's 2nd.
Yeah, add that up for me.
Oh, my goodness.
And forever. 2nd in a long Greyhound bus ride.
40 what? 42.
42nd and 42 to go for the Cowboys. Archer steps up in the pocket, wanted to throw it. Now he's chased out. Garrett Craig giving chase. Jonathan Kramer-Rainbow almost had him. Jake Ferguson does bring him down. He'll go from 2nd down and 42 to just 3rd down and about 38 or so to go. Actually, he got more out of that on the run, but still a long way to go for the Cowboys.
He might have made 15 yards on the play, which we'd take any other time, but when it's 2nd and 42. But that happened. It's a spot infraction, that hold.
Right. And it was so deep. Yeah, exactly. Archer again to pass. Craig giving pressure. Will he get him? No, he gets rid of it and overthrows his intended receiver. That's because Garrett Craig and Gavin Ware both in the area. And they did two things spectacular right there, Chet. The pressure was awesome, but they didn't go hit him after he got rid of the football, and they could have.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could have done that, and they would have gotten some penalty yardage out of it.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to control your emotions and lay off. They both did great. 4th and 35, and of course you're going to go for it.
Have to.
You always do when it's 4th and
4th and 35. That's a green light special. Minute 35 to work. 21-6. Tigers leading Goodland with a 4th and 35 to go. Archer has been chased all over this field in the backfield. Craig flushes him out again. Now Gavin Ware's going to get him the beast. No, Holden Heigl. Match point Heigl after Craig flushed him back toward the middle. Holden Heigl. He finished last week's game with a sack. Why not finish tonight's game with a sack as well?
That's what I was just going to say. He got the last sack, the last play of the game last week. It'll be our last defensive play of the game tonight with another sack.
The Tigers can start celebrating a bit as they close out this game. They forced them into 2nd and 42, remember?
Yeah.
And eventually 4th and 35, and then the sack play by Holden Heigl. The Tigers with a minute 25 and a 21-6 lead, and they can take a knee, go to the victory formation. And we do have a whistle. Is that a timeout by Goodland?
Surely not.
So the Cowboys are going to take a timeout and try to get a possession back. But the Tigers lead it 21-6. A minute 23 remains in this fourth. Tigers on their way to the second win when we return.
Central Valley Ag is a big operation in Glen Elder, Kansas. 4 elevators, a flats facility, and dedicated people like elevator operator Chris McMillan.
I get excited to come to work because I never really know what I'm going to do that day.
Assistant manager Tony Krause says his team truly believes in the cooperative spirit.
People that are genuine, honest, caring, and it makes a cooperative what it ought to be.
Get the full story at CVAcoop.com. Central Valley Ag Glen Elder, proud to say we are CVA.
Back once again in Goodland, Rocky Downing along with our studio engineer Bernie Fancella, Randy Chet Carlson, Z-Dog, Zach Elzing on stats. And Zach has done such a tremendous job stepping in and getting stats going for us, and he's taken it to a different level. But Chet, we're not going to use anything he's put together for us tonight.
I know the kids here running a laptop like crazy on every play and giving us great stuff to talk about. But we're going to give a stat of the game it's just because it's pretty bizarre. As many football games as we've seen, we don't see that a lot.
And I guarantee you we won't again this year. But the Midwest product stat of the game, Peyton Lane goes back to take a knee, and again, Goodland comes and buries him. And then we'll call the timeout. Our Midwest product stat of the game, Chet, 2nd and 42. I mean, come on. We never get to say that.
I know.
It was 2nd down and 42 yards to go after all those penalties and sacks and plays. And that is a stat you just don't hear very often.
And I'm not convinced it was 42. I think it was a little bit longer, but I think they got tired of trying to figure it out, and they knew it was in there somewhere.
2nd down and 42, your Midwest product stat of the game.
That's almost half the field.
Yeah, think about that. 21-6, that's the best stat we can give you. The Tigers on their way to their second straight win and to go to 2-1 on the season. Do have an update for you. Marysville, with about 9 minutes remaining in the fourth, now leads 36-13. So while Mago's given them a test, but obviously making it happen, and now Riley County 52-0 on Rossville. Also, Atchison or Andover Central, after 3 quarters, leads Abilene 34-14. So the Cowboys look like they're on their way to losing their second straight. 21-6. Lane, pitch out right. Caleb Mendham out in the open field. This will burn some more clock. He gets it to the 35-yard line and brings up 4th down. And Goodland will now use their final timeout. We'll break as well. You're listening to Tiger Football on KCLY.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent Dave Forgerding. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Clay Center community. September marks 3 years since I moved my family to become a State Farm agent at Clay Center. My team and I have had a lot of success growing our agency, but more importantly, my wife and kids have made friends, and the kids attend great schools. So to everyone in the Clay Center community, whether you're a State Farm customer or not, I appreciate welcoming my family into this wonderful community. If you need a good neighbor, drop by my State Farm agency downtown or call 632-5642.
Minute 13 to remaining. The Clay Center Tigers looking for their second straight win. I know we've had probably a pretty good audience listening back at home with the road trip that a lot of people, unless you're family or basically family or a radio crew, can make. But I know some family, Coach Mark Henry's got some guys that will eventually be Clay Center Tigers, I hear, listening back at home. So to the Henry boys, you're right here with us.
The Henry boys are always with us.
And what a game it's been. You know, this night didn't start off, or this day didn't start off great for the Tigers. They had a truck breakdown that was bringing their equipment out, and they had to pile as much as they could on the bus and then get here. And then they got the rest of the equipment here before kickoff, but pretty tight at that point. Connor Laston to punt it. He stands at the Goodland 47-yard line. And the kick is away, pooched right side and out of bounds and out of play completely. Souvenir for a fan if anybody's out in that area. Just trying to kick it away from Goodland to have any kind of chance to return it. 1:08 now left. The Tigers up 21-6.
And they're marking it at the 26-yard line. So Goodland used up all their timeouts that time. You know, as we were going into victory formation, they used all their timeouts. 1:08 for them to do whatever they're going to do here.
And the Tigers, who knows? Maybe they do. Maybe Holden Heigl didn't have the last sack of the game.
Well,
it'll be 1st and 10, Goodland from their own 25-yard line. Tigers up 21-6. We're down to 1:08 left in this game. Levi Archer stands, looks downfield, fires across the middle. It is incomplete. Tigers in great position. Gavin Siebold was going to light him up had he hung on to that football. And
Gavin Siebold did a better job than I'm afraid I might have that time. And I think Z-Dolph might have that time.
I think a lot of people were waiting for the collision, and Gavin was smart enough to realize it was not going to be caught, and he just backed away. Second down, 10.
You don't get them displayed out there for you like that very often.
Receiver reached out, stretched out, and falls incomplete. Clock stops at 1:04. Now Archer rolling right, being chased in the backfield again. Fires out in the flat, has a receiver. Oh my goodness. Atkinson, Inning, and they're going to get a penalty on Ant. I think the only reason they called this a penalty is he was up toward the headgear. And if you're up around the head, they're going to call that. It was a tremendous hit. And it's tough for Ant when you're that tall to get that low, but I'm sure that's why they made that call.
Yeah, I mean,
it's unfortunate. It's a great hit.
It was perfect timing, just like we talked about he did on the punt cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I mean, it's a great play.
I mean, that's going to make that guy not want to catch a ball on the sideline.
There is no doubt. So this will be a penalty going back the other direction. And Goodland will have a 1st and 10. It's all academic at this time. The Tigers have a 21-6 lead. We're inside a minute, but Goodland trying to put some cosmetic scoring on the scoreboard, maybe. And now we've got a whistle stop. So a lightning quick first half we're talking about. Things have bogged down to a bit slower pace in the second half with the penalty. There's been a ton of penalties. Mostly on the Goodland Cowboys, this one on the Tigers. 54 seconds remaining. Tigers up 21-6. Archer ready to work. In the pocket, has to step up, pressured again, gets rid of it downfield, has a receiver that's Raymer, and he will step out of bounds in front of Caleb Minden to stop the clock now with 48 seconds remaining. And they'll work their way down inside the Tiger into the field to the 37-yard line. Actually, 38 is where they mark it down and out of bounds. 48 seconds to work. Goodland still trying to march toward the end zone. The Tigers up 21-6. Archer steps up in the pocket, pressured, hit as he throws. It's up for grabs, and it's going to be out of bounds. Not sure who the Tiger was that went up for that. Was it Wyatt Alexander? No, Caleb Minden.
Yeah.
He stretches out for it, and the offensive player rocked him out of bounds. I think he is mentioning that to the official right now and not getting much for his lobbying.
Levi Archer took a little bit of a shot as soon as he threw that ball as well. And I think that's why he threw it as wild as it was.
I would agree. He had 2 or 3 guys coming at him, but I think Gavin Ware might have been the one that got to him as he was throwing the football. So second down 10, 42 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Tigers 21-6 lead with 42 seconds to work. Archer, 3 receivers, trip to the left. Steps up in the pocket, fires downfield across the middle. It is tipped and falls incomplete. Peyton Lane, Connor Last, both reading it, but just no chance to get to it. Now 36 seconds remaining and 3rd and 10. Tiger road trip, a good one. They got up early, 7-0, and then dominated the third quarter when they came out with a 7-minute, 20-second drive, took it in to score. Now we've got a timeout taken by the Tigers, 3rd down 10. We'll break with more. Tigers lead at 21-6 here in Goodland when we return.
It's third Thursday time again, and Wall Street Value is loading up the bargains for your shopping pleasure. Save on select appliances, building materials like vanity sinks, screws, storm doors, and pre-hung interior and exterior doors. We got lots of stuff to move out, like a patio umbrella, tables, and chairs. There might be something for your tummy as well. We'll have these bargains priced to move and move fast, so stop in Thursday night at Wall Street Value in beautiful downtown Clay Center. Open 7 days a week for you.
Whether you're feeding a small group or a large crowd, everyone will love the Hickory smoked meats from Ray's Apple Market. Choose from tender chicken, savory pulled pork, and zesty ribs that make your mouth water. Call the deli department or stop by to place your orders of any size.
Here at Ray's, it is our passion to give you, our customer, a pleasant, time-saving shopping experience while providing exceptional products at value prices with uncommon customer service. Thank you from our family to yours. Shop small, shop local.
Back again in Goodland. Clay Center Tigers lead it here 21-6. 36 seconds remaining in this ball game. Goodland trying to drive it down and get score before the game goes final, but the Tigers have been impressive tonight. Archer is waiting for the shotgun snap. We've got a penalty flag down. Archer rolling left, being chased. Gavin Ware gets to him. He fires it late as he's being taken down by the Beast. Kevin Ware. You know, he got rocked on a defenseless player call in the late third quarter, early fourth, and he has been the beast since that time.
Oh, he really has. And Archer was rolling to his left there. He did actually have a receiver.
Kramer was not far from there. I agree.
But, boy, he had 3 Tigers on him.
And Ware got to him and hit him as he was getting ready to release and then took him to the ground.
I think we're going to decline this penalty.
30 seconds left.
Yep.
And it brings up 4th down and 10. So a 4th down situation here for the Tigers. 30 seconds remaining. Goodland will have it at the Tiger 33-yard line. Clay Center up 21-6. Archer has 3 receivers left, wide side of the field, 1 receiver to the right. Tiger defense lined up and ready to put the close on this game. 4th down and 10. Up by 2 scores. Late seconds. Archer steps up, pressured again. Holden Heigl. He does get the final sack of the game. 2 times we call it. Match point Heigl. There were 3 or 4 defenders, but it was Heigl that got there first. And with 23 to work, now the Tigers can come out, take a snap, and this ball game is in the books, Chad.
Holden Heigl's gotten the final sack 3 times in the last 2 games.
How do you do that? Well,
yeah, that's the stat of the game.
No doubt. That was awesome. Great stuff for Holden Heigl, the senior.
Well, Archer got a little, he was looking for a receiver, and he was dancing around back there. He started to get a little pressure on his left, and he turned right into Holden Heigl coming from his backside.
For the Tigers, the victory formation. Nothing better to close out a game, taking a knee, and that will do it with 20 to work. The Tigers are 2-1, a 21-6 win here on the road against the Goodland Cowboys. Stay with us. Post-game on the way next.
Crop Production Service is constantly looking for ways to help your bottom line grow. And with the Loveland products available, you'll get the results you want. From seed treatment and plant nutrition to fertilizer and crop protection, Crop Production Service offers top-of-the-line solutions to grow your crops, your bottom line, and your operation. Connect with your local CPS expert and experience the innovative products from Loveland. Crop Production Service, here to help you grow.
It's a tough challenge for student athletes to balance academics and sports. It's only through focused determination and perseverance that they find success for themselves and their teammates. I'm Brad Hupka, and our team at Clay County National Bank is very proud to stand with the Clay Center Tigers, their coaches, and their families. Best wishes for an outstanding season to all the student athletes from Clay County National Bank, member FDIC.
Wherever it is that you dream of going in the future, Cloud County Community College can help you get started. Visit us on the web at cloud.edu.
The T-birds dream it. The sky is the limit. Cloud is right along your KCCC. Get on your way to what you want to be. Cloud County Community College. Going anywhere starts here.
At Homestead Real Estate, we have a team of agents with extensive knowledge and experience in buying and selling real estate. Our agents will work hard for you whether we are marketing your property or helping you look for the right home, commercial building, farm, or recreational property. Our agents can help you with properties in the area whether listed by our agency, another agency, or a for sale by owner. Find information at cchomesteadrealestate.com. Homestead Real Estate, founded by local people invested in our community and proud supporters of the Clay Center Tigers.
Gutters are necessary for the protection of your home, and quality seamless guttering is the most efficient. At B&D Seamless Gutters, you'll have your choice of colors, and they can even match the color to your siding in residential or commercial settings. 7, 8, and 6-inch half-round commercial guttering is also available. Add value and style to your home or building with new gutters. Talk to Brian Moon and have them install leaf screens or solid gutter covers. Call B&D Seamless Gutters for a free estimate. 632-0696.
So the Tigers get it done, and what a sight here at Goodland to see everyone huddled up and getting a final talk from the coaching staff, parents, and everyone, friends waiting to go celebrate with this team that really put together a great performance.
Oh, have we turned into the third quarter team or what? I mean, 2 weeks in a row, we come out of the locker room at halftime, and that's the difference. You know, it just a switch that gets thrown. The Tigers got it done.
They come out, dominate the third, go up, and then really the defense pinned their ears back and had some punch tonight. In that fourth quarter in particular, Gavin Ware, Garrett Craig, Holden Heigley, could go on and on with the list of people that did big things. Atkinson, anything, we mentioned him earlier. But a big night for the Tigers, and really balanced, and got some breaks early, gave up some breaks late, and then just wouldn't let it get away.
Big plays on offense, and then one amazing drive on offense, but you did hit the nail on the head with the defensive game and what they were able to do. Now, if you're a guy that likes to play defense, this was one of those games, you'll remember it your whole life. You know, they just come along every so often.
Exactly.
You hurt, you know, and not everything goes the way it's supposed to, but you just never forget them because you're able to get out there and just play.
Yeah, what a fun night. 21-6 Tigers get it done. They're 2-1 now in the year. Back in league play next week, and back on the road they head to Wamego. Your postgame brought to you by B&D Seamless Gutters, Homestead Real Estate Clay Center, Clay County National Bank, and Cloud County Community College. For our studio engineer, Bernie Fanzella, Chet Carlson, Z-Dog, this is Rocky Downing telling you to enjoy the rest of your Football Friday.